everyone. We are live. Welcome, Giants Alliance. David, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. I know you're a Giants fan, so let's talk about that. How'd you become a Giants fan in the first place?
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Yeah, I've been a Giants fan my whole life. My dad is such a big Giants fan, so it's not like he forced me to be a Giants fan, but I just, watch the games with him and my grandpa. My grandpa was a big Giants fan too. And I was born in 88, so I don't know.
89.
I have a feeling oh, nice. Yeah, so we're almost the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been watching the Giants from the 90s when they had some bad teams in the late 90s with Dave Brown. And then we got Kerry Collins in the early 2000s. We started to improve. And then obviously with Eli, that was our, the best Giants teams of our lifetime. So
yes.
Yeah.
I remember Kerry Collins. I was not that much of a fan of his. I remember when we played the Baltimore Ravens. No one even talks about that Super Bowl, but that was one of the worst Super Bowls for us because, we got destroyed. Their defense was so good, Baltimore's, and it was terrible. And the funny thing is, you talk about your father. That's how I became a Giants fan. So my father's a Giants fan. I was watching Giants football when I was really, really young. And and I live in New York, as you know. I live in Queens. You live in New York still, or where are you from?
No. Yeah, I live in South Florida. I grew up on Long Island, so I lived in New York most of my life.
All right.
Yeah, so I went to Hofstra, which is very close to Queens, and my grandma and grandpa lived in Bayside. I don't know if that's close to
Bayside. Yeah, it's kind of far. It's kind of far from where I'm at because I'm in Ridgewood, which is close to Brooklyn. So yeah.
Yeah, so I had family in Queens and Brooklyn, so I was. I used to go to a lot of Yankee games. I don't know if I asked you. I think you're a Yankees fan too, right? I know you're Orlando Magic fan.
No, believe it or not, I didn't choose the Yankees. I wish I did though.
Mets fan, I guess.
It was Cardinals actually, and that's when I was younger. I was watching a lot of. I think when I was watching baseball, the steroid era was in full effect, and I saw Mark McGwire hit 70 home runs. And ever since then, and also because what it was as a sibling rivalry. My brother was a Yankees fan, and me and him, when we were younger. Now we're great. When you get older, you're great, but when you're younger, you're fighting. So I was I couldn't like the Yankees because he liked the Yankees, and I used to just. So yeah, every team he picked, I picked the opposite pretty much. I didn't like the Mets. I don't know. I just never ever really liked the Mets because I guess they weren't that great back in the 90s. I mean, they were good in the 2000s, I remember, but
yeah, the Subway Series was really cool because most of my friends were Mets fans growing up, and it's funny you say that because my brother, when we were younger, he's only 2 years older than me. We used to fight all the time, and I haven't thought about that in a while. But if you have a brother that's close to the same age as you, that's just what happens.
My brother, not to cut you off, my brother is 3.5 years older than me. So he used to bully the shit out of me and he used to pick on me. So I'm the middle child. So then I was always, So I wanted to like the teams he liked, but we never got along. So then I just didn't like the teams. But I kind of lucked out because he liked the Jets.
That's funny.
And I'm happy that I didn't choose that team. I feel like I would have been really.
Yeah, you definitely picked the right football team, and I mean the Cardinals have had a lot of success too. I think they won the second most World Series after the Yankees. So it's funny. Me and my brother, we used to fight so much as little kids, but now when you're older, obviously you don't just fight physically anymore.
Yeah, that's what I tried to.
Yeah, we get along well.
And the thing is, when I was younger, I remember people telling me, no, when you get older, you'll be fine. You and your brother will be good. I'm like, no, we won't. I promise. And I'm like, now we're great. I don't know what happened. Magic and Cardinals fan. Yeah, I know. People say it's weird, but you can like any team, I think, as long as it's justifiable, And it's not like I hate the Yankees. I just, it was a sibling thing, I guess. I didn't want to copy my brother, too, because, what's funny is I think I try to pick the Yankees, and he's like, you're just copying me and this and that. So, I was like, nah. Yeah, back in the 90s, all the kids were about, don't copy me. I want my own thing kind of stuff. I don't know if you remember that, but,
Yeah, as long as you don't switch teams. I had some friends growing up that would always root for whatever team won the Super Bowl that year or the World Series. So as long as you stick with one team, in my opinion, that's okay. But I know what you mean, man. So
first of all, guys, I just want to tell you, Giants Alliance, I put his YouTube channel below, so hit the subscribe on his channel. He also does articles. I actually put his website there too, so if you want to check out his website where he does articles, you can check that out. I've been actually looking at it recently. Pretty good place to just look at Giants content. He also has a Twitter. I put all his social media and his YouTube. Definitely subscribe to him. He's trying to grow. I think he's almost at 200 subscribers, right? Let's get him to at least 200. That'll be great.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I think I'm at in the 180s, but yeah, I started I think my YouTube channel has been a little over a month old, and I started right after the NFL draft because I'm just crazy about the draft. I get really into it. Even before I started making Giants content and writing articles, I would just consume so much content about the draft. Whereas when the draft came around, I knew so much about all the players, and I had read so many mock drafts. So yeah, I get really into it, and that's when I started making these YouTube videos. I did a bunch of mock drafts with my friends, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I like the YouTube community. Everyone's so supportive of each other, and guys like you and Alex Sports, I see him in the chat. That's the best part of it, in my opinion, and just interacting. Even on Twitter, I've interacted with so many cool people, big Giants fans like myself. Because I don't consider myself a typical Giants fan, I'm so into it. Yeah. Are you I know you're a big Magic fan. I feel like you talk about the Magic the most out of any team. Is that your number one team?
Not really. No, it just depends. I guess the thing I go by is whatever season it is. That's the team I probably talk about the most. With football, I try to talk about the Giants as much, but as you know, the news on the Giants right now is kind of slowed down a lot. And basketball is coming back. It's coming back soon. So that's why I've been talking a lot about the Magic. Actually, between the teams, the Giants is my favorite team. Then I'd say the Magic and the Cardinals probably. Because that's the order that I like the sports. Football is my favorite. Even though basketball is second, football is way up there, But the thing is, I've seen the Giants win 2 World Series, and you have 2. Well, technically they won 3 in our lifetimes, but I'm pretty sure you only remember the 2.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember.
I don't remember the Bill one.
Yeah.
But so Giants is my favorite. I talk about the Giants a lot actually, but lately it's been more basketball related because it's coming back and we're getting closer to that. I actually did cover the draft as well, reactions to all the teams' picks, especially when we got Andrew Thomas, when we got Xavier McKinney, when we got Parrott, when we got Darnay Holmes, we got all these players. And I really liked the picks because the thing was, and you can look through my channel, I've actually predicted that the Giants would go with Andrew Thomas. I really thought they're going to surprise everybody. They're not going to take, because everybody was saying either they're going to take Jedrick Wills or Wirfs. That's what you heard for the most part, one of those tackles, or Isaiah Simmons. Yeah. I didn't buy the Isaiah Simmons one at all because I know they want to protect Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is the future. He also was getting a lot of pressure on him because they didn't have a good offensive line last year. And was something we really need to rebuild. So I was so happy that this draft, they got a guy in Andrew Thomas who I think is the most pro-ready out of these tackles. And then they got Parrott later on. And then we still have other people that we can plug and play. And I like Will Hernandez. And there's people on the team that I still like. What did you think of the Andrew Thomas pick?
Yeah, actually, I made one of my first main videos I made was about Isaiah Simmons. I'm a Clemson fan, so I really wanted him. I thought I think he's a very special player. And last season, if you just go back and watch the games, our offensive line was really bad, but I thought our defense was even worse.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, our defense just I think we are better than we were last year on defense, but I think that's where we're going to struggle because I don't see us making the playoffs. I don't really see us doing any better than 8-8. But yeah, I wanted Isaiah Simmons so bad. So then when we took Andrew Thomas, I was disappointed that we didn't take Simmons. But I mean, the more I look into the pick, the more I like it. And I like the fact that he's a left tackle because Wills was actually my favorite offensive lineman going into the draft. He played really well for Alabama, but he's a right tackle. And I know he's capable of moving over to the left side, but you never know. And I like the Andrew Thomas pick. He has the longest arms in the draft. He's he doesn't have many weaknesses. He's actually a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. So I'm excited I want us to be like a powerhouse running football team that win with, running with Saquon and play action passes where Daniel Jones doesn't have to do too much,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I say all the time is last year we were running the ball well, even with that bad offensive line.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Shimmer would shy away from it. We were beating the Cowboys because we were running. They couldn't stop Saquon. And then for some reason, he got pass heavy, and that's what kind of cost us. And we didn't and I guess now that we have even a better run blocking O-line, he will have even more holes to run through. I think he's going to have a great year if he could stay healthy. I think he'll be really good here.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Shane Lemieux ends up winning the starting center job because
Me too.
if you watch his team at Oregon, he's such a beast of a run blocker and he's so strong. He's a natural left guard, but he didn't miss one game for Oregon in like 3 seasons, and he was an All-American. So, some people worry about his like footwork and if he's quick enough to be good enough in pass protection. And switching to center is not easy, but I just think he's a really good player, and I think he can win the starting center job. I don't like Spencer Pulley at all. I don't like Calabio. So I hope it's either him or Nick Gates at center because, like you said, Saquon had 1,000 yards last year despite a really bad offensive line. So I feel like with a really good offensive line and with Daniel Jones, progressing, he should get a lot more room to show his full potential. That's my opinion.
Right. It's true.
Yeah.
So I was really happy with that. And then the second round, we got McKinney, which I loved because the thing was he's a first-round talent. We got him in the second round. This draft was so deep, like so many different positions. And I think, like you said, our defense was really, really bad last year, and we needed a guy like Xavier McKinney. I was really happy with the pick.
I love the McKinney pick. Like when I was, researching different prospects, like I was writing a lot of articles leading up to the draft, and I didn't even consider that McKinney would be available to us because
I didn't think so either.
He's not a top 5 pick, but he's much better than a second round player. Like I figured he'd go to the Cowboys maybe like a number 17 or at least in the 20s. So I was surprised that we were able to get him.
Yeah, there were a lot of surprises. I thought the 49ers were going to take CeeDee Lamb, and they didn't. And when they didn't take CeeDee Lamb, I was like, oh, shit, the Cowboys might get him. And then they got him, and I was so pissed that the Cowboys got him.
I was pissed about that. Like, I really – the two things that hurt the most was, like, not getting Isaiah Simmons and then, like, CeeDee Lamb goes to the Cowboys. And I was really down after that. And McKinney made me feel a lot better because McKinney can do a lot of the same things that Simmons does. Mm-hmm. He's even better in coverage, I think. Simmons is like a really special player. He can do like a little bit of everything.
Well, I mean, if they Simmons, I wouldn't have been upset at all. Like if we didn't get Andrew Thomas, I'd be okay with Simmons. Like I would be fine if they took Simmons because he's such a great linebacker. He's versatile. He can play different positions. That's what I like about him, And he played in Clemson, which is a great team to play for. So that means he's well coached. And I liked his game. I really did. It wasn't anything against him. It was just, the offensive line was a big concern last year. The defense is also a big concern. But so let's go to the defense. We did do some moves in free agency. We got Blake Martinez. Did you like the Blake Martinez pickup?
To be honest, I didn't really like it very much. Yeah. And this isn't the most analytical way of deciding if it's a good signing, but what I do sometimes is I'll look at the reaction of the fans on the opposite team of the player who left. And when they're happy that player left, sometimes I take that as a sign that maybe he's not so good because the diehard fans weren't really upset that Blake Martinez left their team. But that being said, the more I look into the pick and the reason he came to the Giants was he's really comfortable with our defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, where he played really well 2 years ago. And last season, he was actually second in the NFL in tackles. So he's not super athletic. That's why I wanted Simmons so bad because we haven't had an athletic linebacker in so many years in the middle. But
it's true.
He's not a terrible athlete, but he does struggle.
Antonio Pierce. I can't even think who was the last middle linebacker that we had that was really good.
Antonio Pierce was really good. he was very known as being like a really smart player. And do you remember that there was like a play against Green Bay where they were running a screen pass and he just like dove in between two offensive linemen and made the tackle? So he was a beast. I like Antonio.
I loved Antonio Pierce. He's one of those that I always remember. When I was doing top 10, I don't know why I forgot him, but he's one of my favorite Giants.
You did top 10 like favorite Giants?
Yeah, I did top 10 favorite Giants with Entertainer. We were going through when he came on last week, or the week before last week.
Yeah,
we were talking. Yeah, we were talking about top 10 Giants, and I was like, I named 9, and then at the 10th, I was like, I should have put Antonio Pierce. But it was okay because there's so many great Giants. It's like
we're gonna miss especially on those Super Bowl teams. Like there's so many likable players like Ahmad Bradshaw, Brandon Jacobs.
Oh yes, Bradshaw.
So much fun to watch.
Jacobs was perfect for like the short yards when we needed him, like 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, and give him the ball and he just runs it up, and it's hard to tackle him.
Somebody asked her. Sorry to cut you off, but somebody asked a really interesting question on Twitter. And they had a picture of like all the recent great Giants receivers because like during Eli's tenure, he had a lot of good receivers. And it was like Plaxico Burress, Victor Cruz, obviously Odell Beckham Jr., Hakeem Nicks. Toomer was on there too. So out of those guys, those are like some of the best Giants receivers ever. Like, and you could pick one of those receivers in his prime for one season. Who would you pick? Would it be like Plax? A lot of people are picking Plaxico, but I don't know if I would agree with that.
Wait, name the receivers again that were on that list. I think Victor Cruz at his prime. That's probably the one I would go with.
That's an interesting pick.
Yeah, the reason was he was so dynamic. When you threw him the ball, now people are going to say Odell is a better receiver, but I remember Victor Cruz. He threw him I remember Eli would throw like a short pass and he would just burn everybody. He was a speedster and he just knew how to like make plays, and you didn't expect it from him because he came out of nowhere, Victor Cruz, in my opinion. Odell Beckham but he's just, oh man, he's such a diva. I was the only person I think that was kind of happy when we traded him initially because when I saw what we got back, I was pretty happy. Out of those receivers, who would you have gone with?
Yeah, it's a really tough decision because Plaxico in his prime was like perfect for Eli, where you can just like throw it up and he would catch everything. And Odell Beckham, I used to talk about this all the time. I thought he was the best receiver in the NFL, at the beginning of his career, like talent-wise,
I think it was Eli and him just worked so well together. That's why I never got why Eli under the bus. It's like this guy made your career. Now you're on Cleveland and you're not the same receiver. Last year he really took a step back.
He definitely took Eli for granted, I feel like. But I think in his prime, because he didn't really have a long prime, but like during that Super Bowl season, I think Hakeem Nicks is who I'd pick.
He was great.
Yeah, he was
a lot of these guys hard to pick. You can make a case for everything. I love Victor Cruz because he also did the salsa dance every time he scored a touchdown. That was pretty fun.
He was so much fun to watch. Like I remember that play against the Jets. I think it was like 99 yards. And I don't think we would have won that game, and then we wouldn't have went to the Super Bowl if it wasn't that play. It was like 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7.
I think he was
short pass and burned everyone.
He was one of the favorite like Giants players because every time he would get the ball, people would be like Cruz, and they would have like a special chant for him. I think a lot of people liked him a lot. Yes, Plaxico, I agree with, but Plaxico didn't play with us for that long. That's the only thing. I did like Plaxico, but I loved him until like he did that. He shot himself in the foot and went to jail for it and all that. Then I was like, damn it, because I thought we could have repeated. Our team was still pretty good. Nick's was a beast, but I felt like I don't know, his prime wasn't as long as I thought it was gonna be. I thought he could have played better longer.
Yeah, I think he only played like 6 or 7 seasons. He had a lot of injuries at the end, but
I mean,
for those first couple of years,
Giants receivers, Mario Manningham, like he made a lot of great catches. Like he was not a great receiver, but he made in that Super Bowl, he made that crazy catch on against the Patriots. The catch that he made on the sideline, next to the sidelines, that was a pretty good catch.
Yeah, Manningham is very underrated. Like he also didn't have such a long career because I think after that season he went to the 49ers and he was never that good ever again. But during that playoff run, he had a lot of big catches, like against San Francisco, in the NFC Championship game. He had a big touchdown. So, yeah, Victor Cruz and Nix were such good receivers that he would always get like one-on-one matchups, and he took advantage most of the time. So that was Eli's best season, I think, in 2011. He was just so good.
See, Victor Cruz is Alex's favorite Giants receiver. You see what I mean? Like, there are people like that. I remember, like, he may not have been the best, I guess, but a lot of people would always say he's one of my favorite Giants because he was explosive too. Like, he would when he gets the ball, he could just take it to the house. And the thing is, nobody expected it from him. Like, I don't really remember him, like, he wasn't like a high draft pick or anything. So I was like, what? How do you do this?
Yeah, he was. I think he was undrafted, but
he wasn't.
And he was like small too, but sometimes you could just throw it up to him and he would come down with it. I remember his first ever, like his coming out party was a preseason game against the Jets, and Rex Ryan was like he had like a mic, and he's like, "Who the hell is this number 80? He's burning us in every play," and it ended up being Victor Cruz. And I think one of the first games of that season, he had 3 touchdowns against the Eagles, and he kind of came out of nowhere, and his prime was short as well, so. Yeah, I love Victor Cruz. We were lucky to have so many good receivers like during that time.
Yeah, I think we did a short period where we had a lot of good receivers coming in and out.
Yeah.
I just want to say what's up to the chat. Say hi to some of the people that came in here. Aiden, if you like, check out Giants Alliance. He's a great YouTuber. Nuzdar, Alex Sports, Leafs Defense. Papi Chulo chat is probably already subscribed to you because he's a Giants fan too. So Rafael De Luna, definitely all you guys, please subscribe. I want all the Giants YouTubers to grow.
No, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, you've been always very supportive. Like in my I've done a couple of live streams lately. I appreciate you. You ask good questions and stuff. But the feedback is like my favorite part of doing the live streams, like the interaction with the chat. That's a lot of fun to me. So I want to start.
By the way, guys, we are taking questions too. If you guys have any questions for us, I know you already subbed, Alex. That's why I didn't mention your name. But I'm just saying, anybody who hasn't subscribed, please subscribe to Giants Alliance. And also check out his Twitter and all the other places that you can find him. I put all the links in the description. So,
yeah, I just came out with a new. Actually, I published it, or I announced it today, I guess you can say. I have a new Giants website. It's nygiantsalliance.com. So all my articles are going to be on there from now on. And
are you moving articles from there to there instead now?
Yeah, from now on, I'm just going to put all my articles on there. I like that I can just put my videos on there too. And I can just like publish, the articles when I want. So it's exciting because I've always kind of wanted to start my own website like that. So.
Sorry, I just want to get your YouTube out there. Lewis said, what's his channel name? It's in the description, but his channel name is Giants Alliance. But, you could just click the link and just hit the sub for him. And, you'll enjoy his content because he's small in terms of subscribers, obviously. But his knowledge is huge, man. I'm always in there, and I'm like, damn, I agree with, everything this guy is saying.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, do you think the Giants will compete for the East? Says Rafael De Luna. Good first question we got. Go ahead. You'll answer first, and I'll answer second.
For me, that is a good question. I don't think we're going to compete this year. But that being said, I don't think we're going to compete for first place is what I'm trying to say. But that being said, we're going to be more competitive than we were the last couple of years. I'm pretty confident of. And I'm hoping that we can split with Dallas and Philly. And I think if we can do that, it should be considered a successful season. 2021 is the year I think we should be legit contenders because Daniel Jones will have a full season of experience under his belt. And our salary cap situation is really good. Nate Solder is going to come off the books. Yeah. I think Matt Pert should be ready by then. We're going to have a really good salary cap situation. So we'll be able to get one of those really good free agents next year when our young guys have more experience. So 2021 and 2022, I think, in my opinion, those are going to be our years. This year, I'm just hoping we can get close to 500. If we go 7-9 or 8-8, I think it's kind of ideal. And we do have a tough schedule. So what do you think the record's going to be?
Actually, I already did the predictions. I have a video up, but I'll tell you again. I went through the schedule. It is a very tough schedule. I'm not going to lie. but I had us going 7-9, about 7 wins and 9 losses. So yeah, I agree with the 7 to 8 wins. You know, that's what I'm seeing right now. But it is a tough schedule because we play the NFC West, which is tough. I think all the teams in there are very good. We play the Bears, and there's just a lot of good teams we're playing this year.
Yeah, we play the AFC North, which has some really good teams. I'm excited about the game against Cleveland. I think that's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be fun, and I think Entertainer said that he's going to go to the game if fans are allowed, obviously. That he's probably going to go to that game. So I'll be like, yeah. I told him, you know, if fans are allowed, I'll definitely come by and try to go to the game. I don't know if you would be able to, because they did it last year. They had like a huge meetup with everybody.
Oh, wow.
And they went to a game, and it was so much fun. Like, I wasn't there, but, you know, they live streamed it.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Yeah, if we're able to go to the games, I would definitely try to do that because I have family in New York, so that would be so much fun to actually meet everyone in person.
Yeah, that'd be great. They were all there. Kid Blue actually came from Florida. Kid Blue
really?
came. Yeah, he actually went to the event.
Oh, wow.
OGR was there. Just a bunch of like Giants YouTubers were there, and it was so cool to see.
You guys were like tailgating and stuff before the game?
I wasn't there, like I said. They were.
You weren't there. Sorry.
I wasn't there. I wish I was now so badly, but yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll be able to go to the games this year.
I hope that the Browns game is available because if it is, I'm definitely going. I don't care. I'm making, especially with like the fact that like even last year I had a ticket to a game, but then I didn't end up going because something came up, and I'm like shit. I wish I went to that game because it was against the Redskins. So that's like one of our 4 wins that we had last year.
Yeah. That's the one team that we actually play well against.
That's why I have like 2 wins already. But they are getting better, so we'll see.
Their defense should be tough. Chase Young is going to be a beast. It's going to be tough to deal with.
He's so good. Do you think the Giants will compete? I'm with him. I don't think that we will. Obviously, I said 7 to 8 wins, which is not good enough for the East. But I do think we're moving in the right direction. I do. Originally, I was, I didn't like Gettleman's picks that much, but now I'm starting to like them more and more as I see how they're growing. And I think, you got to give a GM more than like 2 years. You got to give them time, because it takes time to build a team.
I like the way he builds through the draft. Like I think he drafts really well, especially in the mid rounds. Mm-hmm. I thought his 2019 draft was really good. Besides the DeAndre Baker pick, which I don't think is going to be good, but you never know. He can turn his career around. He made a lot of really good picks last year. Like Daniel Jones, everyone thought that was a bad pick, but now everyone loves it. But in the mid rounds, he got like Julian Love, Ryan Connolly, Darius Slayton in the 5th round. Ballantyne as a 6th round pick, I think was a very good pick as well. So he's made some tremendous picks like in the mid rounds. I think that's his strength. And I think this year as well, I think Darnay Holmes was a great pick in the 4th round.
Oh, my God.
I think he's going to end up being really good.
I think he could be a really good slot corner for us. I know he can probably play a little bit on the outside too, but I know for the main reason that we got him was his play slot corner. So
yeah, we haven't had a good slot corner in such a long time.
And it's very important because a lot of quarterbacks like to throw to the slot receivers. So
yeah, more and more. And especially because, they're going to have 3 receivers on the field. I think it's 75% of the time, offenses have at least 3 receivers on the field. So you're going to be in your nickel defense a majority of the time. So, just because he's a slot corner doesn't mean he's not a starter. He's basically a starter if he starts as the slot guy. So yeah, I'm excited about that pick.
Darius Slayton, buy or sell dynasty. I would buy him in a dynasty league because I think he's getting better every year. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. He is getting better every year. Like last year, he came out of nowhere with that many yards as a rookie receiver. He had a pretty good year, and I think that once a quarterback has somebody like that they throw to, he's going to keep feeding him. And I also think that Golden Tate's year, he probably has a year this year, and I think maybe the next year they may get rid of Golden Tate. I don't know. I think Darius Slayton is his favorite weapon. I really do. I think he tries to get him the ball as much as he can. Would you buy or sell Darius Slayton in a dynasty league?
Yeah, I would definitely buy. He's really our only fast burner on the outside, and we didn't draft a wide receiver this year, which I think was pretty telling. because there were so many good receivers in this draft. And we have some pretty good undrafted free agent players, but I don't think they're a threat to Darius Slayton at all. And yeah, like you said, he has a very good chemistry with Daniel Jones. So I think you know, he's somebody that should get better in his second season, you know. Usually like from year 1 to year 2 is when you see the biggest leap. Yeah. So I would definitely buy him in Dynasty. I noticed Jared Williams, he's in my stream sometimes.
Yeah,
so thanks for coming.
Jared Williams, welcome to the stream. And so Papi Chulo Chad has a great question. Do you think Fragpro, Jimenez, and Lorenzo Carter are possibly going to play edge?
Yeah, it's a good question because in Patrick Graham's scheme, I feel like he's going to use his linebackers a lot differently than, you know, last year with James Bettcher. And do you remember like how Belichick would always put all his linebackers up on the line of scrimmage? Yeah. Like sometimes he would have no guys in a 3-point stance. They'd all be kind of roaming around. And I think the way Patrick Graham uses his linebackers on third down is similar. And I noticed he did that for Miami last year, where he has guys kind of playing all over the place. In Fackrell, I think Fackrell is mostly going to play on the edge, but he's not really a great run defender. So I think they're going to use him a little bit as like a hybrid linebacker. I think Lorenzo Carter is a very good hybrid linebacker. He's actually pretty good in coverage, and he's like super athletic. And then, Jimenez, I think, is primarily going to play edge. He's not as good against the run, but I actually think he might be our best pass rusher at this point, and he was getting a lot better last year. So, yeah, I think those guys, they're going to play, you know, a lot differently than they did last year, but they're, you know, primarily going to play edge. Like, which of those guys would you say is going to have the most sacks, if you had to guess?
I think Lorenzo Carter. I think he's going to probably have the most sacks. I like him the most, and Jimenez probably right after him, Fractal after that. Lorenzo Carter, I think he should. This is the year. He's got to have that breakout year, and I feel like he's going to do it for us. I really do. Benjamin Victor is great. I love the fact that he's 6'4" and a good possession receiver, a guy that we could use. What is your thoughts on Benjamin Victor?
Yeah, I like Victor a lot. I actually did a video on Victor, and I compared him to Corey Coleman and talked about who has a better chance of making the team and who is going to compete for that 4th receiver spot. Because our top 3 receivers are pretty set, but after that, there's a lot of question marks. So Victor's the undrafted free agent receiver I like the most. He was a 4-star recruit. He's actually from like this area of Florida, in South Florida. So yeah, he was like a really highly regarded high school player. And Ohio State has so many good receivers, like so many good weapons on offense. So he's not going to get, you know, so like a bunch of targets like he would have if he went to a smaller school. And he has good hands. Like he did struggle a little bit with drops, but he's good at just like catching the ball in traffic. He's good in the red zone, and that's exactly what we need. We don't have a tall receiver like him, so I like that pick.
I think he's the perfect guy to plug in when you get close to the red zone. You know, you can maybe run a fade with him or try to get him open. Kind of like, remember we had Plexico and like Eli would throw those fade routes to Plexico because he's 6'6". It's hard to cover those guys because cornerbacks are usually not that tall. So
Plexico was such a beast in the red zone. And he was perfect for Eli because Eli would always throw like a little bit high. That was perfect for Plexico, and he would just go up and get it. And I feel like Daniel Jones is so accurate that he can put the ball to a tall receiver in like a spot where only the receiver can get it. And if you remember, Daniel Jones at Duke never had, you know, a great tall receiver, obviously.
He never had with the Giants at all. All his receivers would drop passes, and that's what made him look a lot worse than he actually was because his receivers could not catch the ball. And like he had perfect pass, he would just drop it because he was on a team that didn't have the receiving talents.
Yeah, imagine if he was on Ohio State with all those like amazing receivers that Haskins had. Yeah, he would have been like a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, he'd be really good there, I think. No, I agree with you. Do you want Yannick Ngakoue for the Giants, I guess he's saying?
Yeah, a lot of people are against it because the way he interacts on social media and he's like asking for a trade and they think he has a bad attitude. But I just think that's our biggest weakness by far is the pass rushing and the edge rushers.
We definitely.
So I would love to get him. I would even during the draft. Like I don't know if you remember, like there was rumors that Jacksonville was going to trade up with us. And we would trade back to the number 9 spot and then get Ngakoue. Which I would have liked.
I heard about
Yeah,
those rumors, and I kind of hope they were true, so we could, if we didn't, we could get him, because we definitely need pass rush. Is so important. We don't really have like nobody on our team is like stands out as a pass rusher, like you were saying, And it's always
we don't have
somebody like that. Yeah.
We don't have a dominant. Yeah, we have some guys with a lot of potential. Like Carter has a lot of potential, but you can't.
Carter, I think Leonard Williams has potential too. I really think Leonard Williams could, if he can work in Patrick Graham's scheme, because it's a completely different scheme. Also, I think Betcher may have used them incorrectly, and also you got to think about the fact that he was traded in the middle of the season. So that's something. I really hope, because I was really pissed when the trade happened and then he wasn't working out last year. So I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna give him one more year chance, and hopefully he becomes the pass rusher that I want him to be. I don't know if he's gonna be, but that's just a hope. This is a great question. Would you reverse the OBJ trade? And I would not, but I want to hear what you have to say.
I 100% agree with you. I wouldn't. I thought it was a really good trade. I think out of all the defensive players in our team, Dexter Lawrence is the one guy. I think he has like all pro potential. I really think he's that good of a player. If there's anyone that's going to make like all pro first team or second team, I say it would be him. So we got him with that draft pick from Cleveland. We also got Peppers. I think Peppers is he's a good safety, yeah. And Zimenez we got with one of those draft picks as well. So it's really sad, because I was such a big fan of OBJ, and I thought he was so talented, and you just never imagined like his first couple of years that we'd end up trading him.
I had an Odell jersey. I was his biggest fan at one point, but I lost respect for him when he went with Justin Bieber to party.
That's
the night before the playoff. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't care if you did it a week before, but the night before, come on, man. Like, you got to be prepared for the game, man. Like, you should just try to be getting a good night's sleep and get ready. And he struggled too. He didn't play well that game, so.
Yeah. If you remember too, Eli was just like in the zone in the beginning of that game. Like, he was spot on with all his passes. And it's like Eli he becomes a different quarterback when it's like the fourth quarter or like a big playoff game. And he just seemed so focused, and he was like making all these great throws. And I think Sterling Shepard as well dropped a couple of passes, and Beckham obviously dropped a touchdown pass, and that could have changed the whole game. So it's sad to not have Odell anymore, but I do like the trade, and we saved a lot of money too. So
right, yeah, no, I was happy because I saw that we had a first round pick, a third round pick, and Jabril Peppers. I was like, whoa, that is pretty good. Because now, especially look at all these wide receivers that are getting traded. Like DeAndre Hopkins only got traded for a second round pick.
And David Johnson, who was like a bad contract. Like, they're just trying to get rid of him. So
and he's always injured. So it was like, when I look at that, I'm like even happier. And it's like, also with Odell, it was like he was starting to become a distraction on the team, and I really didn't want that for a young quarterback to go through all that. Like,
on the field, he could have been really good with Daniel Jones, I think. But at the same time, if he's not getting like as many passes thrown his way, he can start like yelling at Jones and like getting in his head. And like there's more to football than just like what goes on the field. So I think it was a good trade. I'm happy with it.
Somebody said Golden, I guess they mean Marcus Golden, is 90% coming back.
Wow. I heard. I don't exactly remember what the tag is.
Isn't it?
They put a certain
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think they said the tag, like, if nobody signs him within, I think sometime this month, he's just automatically going to be on the Giants. I think it's like some weird tag that you're going through right now. Hey, Kane Zong, what's up?
Kane Zong, he was in my last chat. I think, was it last night or 2 days ago? No, it was last night. Kane Zong, thanks for coming through, man. Yeah, he was asking me a lot of good questions last night. We were going back and forth. So he's the man. Yeah, diva wide receivers. It's funny that like all the players like that are so diva-ish, like Terrell Owens, they end up being the wide receivers. You don't see running backs like that.
Those receivers usually don't win anything either. The diva ones, Terrell Owens, come on.
Owens. He was a really good player. Like he played with a broken leg in the Super Bowl with Philly.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that. He was an amazing player, but I'm just saying, like, I heard that he destroyed teams in locker rooms and stuff. Like, yes, he's great, but look, I mean, how many times did he switch teams? That's not.
Yeah.
That's actually what kept him out of the. I don't think it should have kept him out of the Hall of Fame, but it is what kept him out of the Hall of Fame for the first 2 years. You know,
and I think he didn't treat the press very well.
Oh yeah,
and I think that probably played a factor into it. And you're right, like his teams are always very good, but they would never get over the hump. Like that Philadelphia team, even though they made the Super Bowl, they were never like close in that game, or I thought they were never a threat to win it. So he was always on really good 49er teams and Cowboys teams, but they never, were able to go all the way. So yeah, Calvin Johnson retired way too early. He was still in his that was surprising. That was crazy.
I think he retired early because he was on the Lions. I mean, look at Barry Sanders. He also retired way too early.
That can't just be a coincidence that it's the Lions both times. Like two of the best players.
It's hard playing for the Lions.
Yeah.
No.
I don't blame him though. He probably made enough money. Yeah, I think Megatron, if he was just in his prime, I don't think there's ever been a receiver as good. Maybe Randy Moss. Like those were probably the two most talented receivers in terms of like taking over a game. But yeah, Calvin Johnson could just do everything. He was so good.
So going back to Marcus Golden, do you want him back, or would you be okay? Like, do you want him to come back to the Giants?
Yeah, I think it would help the team. I'm not as big on Marcus Golden as a lot of people. I don't think he's a dominant pass rusher. He's a good pass rusher. Yeah, he had 10.5 sacks last year, I believe, or around 10. Like that. Yeah, I just don't think he's good enough to be a number one pass rusher on a good team. And he would be our best. Yeah, he would be our best edge guy when we do sign him. But he never, in my opinion, beat his the lineman quickly, or he beat him. Betcher did use him well and put him in good position. You would get like a lot of hustle sacks.
That's the thing. How will he work in Patrick Graham's scheme? I'm rooting for the guy because I think he's going to be on the Giants. So I really do think that that's where he's going to end up staying. Because if some team was going to sign him, I think they would have done it by now. But you're right about Betcher, because when he was on Arizona, he was with Betcher too, and he had the same kind of year. How's he going to be our guy? I don't know, but I hope he's a great pass rusher because that's exactly what we need.
Yeah, and he's a hard worker too. I think he's a really good locker room guy. So that kind of guy can't hurt to have on your team. And you're right. He's not as versatile as some of the other outside linebackers like Lorenzo Carter. So they might just use him sometimes on pass rushing situations. But he can be good in those spots.
He's very good when you're trying to blitz, and he can get pressure. But a lot of times I realize he comes nobody's blocking him. He just comes out of the edge and nobody sees him. He's really fast. I'll tell you that. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, my favorite play of his, I think last year, Lorenzo Carter, he had a strip sack of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And Golden ran it 40 yards for a touchdown. So
he's very quick. Lions didn't make it easy. Terrible owners. Did you want to draft Josh Allen in 2019?
No, I've been kind of surprised how good Allen has been. He's obviously not an all-pro quarterback, but he's been very good, I think, for Buffalo. And Buffalo was, they overachieved last year, but I think they're the favorites in the AFC.
That wasn't 2019, wasn't that 2018?
Yeah, 2018. It was him, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Lamar Jackson. Yeah,
because 2019 was when Daniel Jones came out, and that's when we took him.
Yeah.
We took Saquon in 2018. So, it's got to be 2018. I think you meant 2018. But, I get what you're saying. So, continue. Sorry. I just saw that.
Yeah. I didn't think Josh Allen would be that great. He's actually been better than I thought. He played at Wyoming, I believe, or he played at a very small school. Mm-hmm. And, he had amazing arm talent. He might have the best arm in the NFL. And he's fast. But actually, Daniel Jones is faster if you base it on 40 times. And when he has his top end speed, I think he's faster. I think Josh Allen is probably better at scrambling and he's quicker than him. But I think Josh Allen is actually really good.
This is how I evaluate these two quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is more accurate than Josh Allen, but Josh Allen has a stronger arm.
Yeah.
That's what I would say when it comes to that. When it comes to scrambling, I agree with you. Daniel Jones is slightly faster, I think, than Josh Allen. But Josh Allen, man, he just tries to he risks his body too much, I feel like.
Yeah.
He tries
I
to
kind of like
for like linebackers and stuff. I'm like, what the hell?
Do you remember in the game against Houston? That was like the craziest playoff game of the entire year, and he was making some like ridiculous throws. Like sometimes it would work out, but he just made the riskiest throws. I think it was even in overtime when he threw it like across his body, like to the other side of the field. And yeah, he's such a fun player to watch. You know, I like those kind of players. Like I don't know if I would like him if he was in the Giants.
I really, no, I don't know if I would like him on the Giants either. I totally agree. But he is fun to watch, and you do see progression with him. Yeah, his accuracy isn't there yet, but even like his rookie year, it was like 50% or 52% or something like that. Last year, he moved up to 58. So he is moving upwards, you know, and that's good for him, and that's good for the Bills. And now if you look at it, he really didn't have many weapons, just John Brown. Now he has Stephon Diggs, John Brown. I think he's going to have more to work. Yeah. It's going to be great for him. I think that's going to.
Yeah, and I think Diggs is really good. He obviously wasn't happy. I don't think he liked being the number 2 receiver to Thielen. And Kirk Cousins seemed to have pretty good chemistry with Thielen. So I think Diggs is actually a really good receiver. I've had him in fantasy a couple times.
Too.
So he's so good. Yeah, it's just when he's on or when he gets a lot of targets, I think he could be really good. So he's going to end up being the number 1 receiver for them. I think, you know, Josh Allen should be much better for that.
Daniel Jones is better than Josh Allen, somebody says. Kane Zonk. I don't even know how to address that. Like, I just put that up there because I wanted to see your reaction on that, David.
I agree. I think he's better. I'm really high on Daniel Jones. It might be the Giants fan in me, but I just think he has so much potential. There's a graph that rates quarterbacks based on passes that have 20 or more air yards, and deep throw accuracy. Josh Allen was on like the very bottom of that chart, and Daniel Jones is at the very top. And some people say Daniel Jones doesn't have the elite arm strength. That's like his one maybe weakness, but I think his arm strength is actually like pretty good, and I think it's good enough. And he's very accurate. So I'd rather have a quarterback like that. Yeah, I think Daniel Jones is I think he's gonna make a leap this year. I'm pretty confident about that. So.
I think accuracy actually is more important. If you look at some quarterbacks that didn't have arm strength, but they were good, like Kurt Warner, he never really had arm strength, but he was. He's the second. I think he's the second most accurate quarterback in the NFL that's ever played. If you look at the completion percentage, I mean, and I think Chad Pennington was like number 1. He was really accurate too. Chad Pennington, had he not got injured, he was a pretty good quarterback. I feel like at times. I would rather have a guy who can hit the target than overthrow the target. Like
those are perfect examples. Like Chad Pennington was like the total other side of the spectrum with like very weak arm. But I remember I used to go to Giants training camp every year, and I remember watching Kurt Warner, and the way he threw the ball, like you can watch him at practice, and he just like floated the ball up there, and his throws looked like so slow and so weak, but he always was on target, like you said. He was just so accurate. And then you would see Eli come in, and Eli, you know, he had a pretty good arm, so he would put so much more zip on the ball. And he wasn't as accurate as Warner, but like Warner was so accurate. That's a really good example because I just remember seeing him at training camp, and I was like, "How is this guy in the NFL? Like, he can barely throw the ball, you know, with any like zip on it." And
remember, who was our quarterback at one time? And
he had a good career after he left the Giants, like with the Cardinals. I was surprised.
He was playing well with us. The only problem was we needed Eli to develop and become the quarterback, and I think he may have helped Eli with some things. I think that was actually a thing that we did was bring in a veteran and let Eli sit for a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think if they kept with Warner for that entire season, maybe they would have made the playoffs, maybe not, but it wouldn't have been good for Eli's development. And I think having like Warner was a really good guy at training camp. And I know you can't base everything off of this, but he would like sign autographs for everyone. He would just like talk to all the fans, and he was just so down to earth. Like he was a good guy. So
I think character does matter. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I think that kind of stuff matters. I think he probably like went out of his way to help Eli as much as he could, you know?
Oh yeah, he's not like Ben Roethlisberger, who said he wouldn't help Mason Rudolph at all.
I don't think Mason Rudolph. I think he was probably like a lost cause, but
that's kind of sucks for the Steelers now. It's like we have to find another quarterback now when Ben Roethlisberger eventually does retire or whatever. I found this interesting though. He says no one thought Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes were going to be good after their rookie years, But Patrick Mahomes barely played his rookie year, so nobody could tell if he was going to be good or not. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I don't think did he play at all? He might have gotten
like one game at the end of the season, or 1 or 2 games. That was it.
Yeah. Supposedly Ben McAdoo was like really high on Mahomes, and he wanted the Giants to like trade up for him. And that would have been amazing. Obviously, we would have had the MVP.
Why you gotta bring up the name Ben McAdoo?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I have like a Giants diploma I got as a joke. It's a gift, and it says it's signed by Ben McAdoo because I got it like 5 years ago. It's like a PhD in New York Giants football. But yeah, McAdoo, he seemed like such a good coach his first season. They went to the playoffs. But yeah, he was bad. He was not a good coach.
I don't think he I was hoping, obviously, you always hope that your head coach works out. Yeah. Is Eli a first ballot Hall of Fame? Rochester J asks.
I believe so. I don't like when people say like, oh, he was never the best quarterback in the league. But you got to think about like during his entire career, he played with like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, like all those guys are Hall of Famers. And in 2011, I really think he could have been the MVP of the league. And if you count his 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and he was, I think he's 11th or he's in the top 10 in like most statistical categories for his longevity. He never missed a game. So I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah, I really strongly believe in that. What do you think? Do you think he's going to be first ballot or?
I think that's what I think. I don't think they're going to put him in first ballot. I think he should be though. I really do.
Yeah.
Even though he's not, like you said, has not been the best quarterback. He did have a lot of stiff competition at the time, and he did have a lot of really good years. And he beat an undefeated Patriots team the first time around. The second time, he's beat the Patriots twice, which no quarterback has done. And also, like he played every game. Like he was healthy too. I think that goes a long way. Like he was an Iron Man, And the only time that he could have continued that, but they took him out for Geno Smith, which I'll never understand. But
yeah, I'll never forgive McAdoo for that. I think most Giants fans that's like the first thing to think about when they think of McAdoo is putting in Geno Smith.
I can understand if it was like a quarterback they're trying to develop, but Geno Smith, like what the hell? Like I knew this guy wasn't the answer for our team. Like, I mean,
that was such a slap in the face to Eli. He had the record.
They only put him in for 1 week. Yeah, he had the record. They put him in for 1 week, and then they took him out. It's like,
what? They put him back in. Yeah,
like what? So put Eli back in. Then it's like, so
yeah. Sad. I think there's not that many great players that retired this offseason besides Eli. Yeah, I know Marshall Yanda, who's like,
they go in as a group, right? That's right.
Yeah. But it's hard to know like who doesn't make it the year before, so you don't know exactly who's going to be in his group. But I think Luke Kuechly is going to be a Hall of Famer most likely, and he retired, I think. So
yeah, like I would say Eli Manning, over Luke Kuechly because quarterback's harder to play. I mean, I really hope he's first ballot, but if he's ballot, I don't really care. Like as long as he gets in, and I hope he gets in as soon as possible. Hope it's first ballot. That's what I hope.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that don't think he's a Hall of Famer, which frustrates
there are a lot. Yeah,
that's reality.
And I always find that shocking. But then when I try to break it down to them, they kind of see where I'm coming from. Especially look at his statistics. He's actually pretty high, and there are quarterbacks worse than him that are in the Hall of Fame. Like,
I think Joe Namath had.
I was gonna say Joe Namath might want to piss off any Jets fans if there were any in here.
Yeah,
Jets fans.
I mean, Joe Namath was the man. Like, obviously, he won the Super Bowl in '69.
Receptions and touchdowns. When I found that out, I was like, really? He did? I was like, what?
Yeah. He didn't have a great career. Like he had a couple of really good years, but I think Eli 100% deserves it over him. And it's hard to the Hall of Fame is tricky because it's so I feel like it's so subjective sometimes.
And I know Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls, but I don't think it ever mattered. I think it was their defense was so good you could put it back, they would have probably won. Maybe again, if you look at his statistics, his touchdowns to interception ratio is very close. It's like the same number. It's
My dad tells me all the time that like those teams in the 70s were like best teams ever. Yeah, they were like incredible. And not just on defense. I think they had really good wide receivers like Lynn Swann.
Yeah, they had everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had like good running backs. And so, yeah. I think Bradshaw was good, but it's hard to say how much credit he gets for those Super Bowls or he deserves or whatever. But yeah.
Yes, Colby. Cardinals drafted Jordan Walker, but I don't know who that is. I never know the baseball prospects. That's one thing I never.
Yeah, the draft is going on right now for baseball, but
I'm pretty sure the Yankees have drafted too. If the Cardinals drafted, or they're getting up there, they're getting close to them. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I'll pay attention to the first round, but yeah, I haven't gotten into it at all this year. I think if baseball was going on right now, I'd be more into it.
But obviously because of the COVID, and also like I don't know if it's gonna come back. I mean, I hope it does, but and if it does, how many games are we getting? Because they keep now it's like 70 range that they're talking about. So
are you a big Cardinals fan where you like watch every single game, or
not every single? Because it's very like before I was working a lot during the games because in baseball they have those afternoon games and I missed those. But when if I had time, if I was free, I would watch a lot of the games. Yes, I even called a lot of the games on this channel. You can.
Oh, that's cool.
Videos. Yeah, I do that a lot. I call baseball. I call football. I called a lot of Giants games, but it became so hard, David, when we were losing games.
Yeah, I think I would be too into the game to be able to do that. But I'll definitely check
your channel. I mean, I think
But you get a lot of viewers when you do that when you call games. Yeah, I could imagine that's kind of fun too.
Yeah, and basketball we called Magic games, so I called everything but calling the Giants games was hard, especially the Giants and Jets game because I thought we were going to win that one, and that was like
Daniel Jones had a pretty good game. He had 4 touchdowns.
The
fumble with Jamal Adams, that was killer.
That was the one that killed us.
He ripped the ball out of his hands.
Jamal Adams is so good. He literally jumped over and just got there without like anybody touching him.
Yeah. PFF did that like rankings of the top 50 players in the NFL, and I think he was in the top 20. And I think he deserves it. He's a very good safety.
Great safety. Everybody trying to get him right now, and the Jets are, I think, listening to offers for him. He's a great safety. The only thing is, you want to pay for it. Safety position.
I just don't want him to go to Dallas. That would be horrible.
That's the thing. I'm like, please, if you go anywhere, just stay away from Dallas and the Eagles. Like, stay away from our division.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is very aggressive. He would definitely trade a couple first-round picks for him, which I think would hurt them long term. But I think it would stop to go against Adams.
So, do you have the Cowboys winning the division, or do you have another team like the Eagles or Redskins? Obviously, I don't think it's the Redskins, but I just put them in there.
Yeah, it's a tough question because I feel like the Eagles and Cowboys are pretty close.
Yeah, right.
And, I give the advantage slightly to the Eagles because they have the same coach. The Cowboys do have the same offensive coordinator, which will help.
Kellen Moore. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the Eagles somehow, even with all the injuries, they seem to always play well. And they did draft Shenault, I believe, in the first round, so that they have a little bit of help at wide receiver.
Shenault,
I think was their biggest issue.
Shenault was drafted with Jacksonville. I thought Jacksonville drafted Shenault.
Oh, you might be right. I don't remember exactly which receiver they drafted.
Jalen Reagor. That was the receiver the Eagles.
Reagor, yeah, you're right. I didn't like the Jalen Hurts.
I was going to ask you about that, right?
Yeah. That was a weird pick.
That they took Hurts. I thought it was funny as hell.
Yeah, so that was funny, but I just think Philly, especially with Darius Slay, I think he's going to help them a lot because sometimes they'll have no names out there at cornerback, but they have such a good pass rush that they can, still get by. But to have such a good cornerback like that with, Fletcher Cox, they signed Hargrave, who's a really good defensive tackle, to go next to Cox, and they have Brandon Graham, who's one of the best defensive
their defense will definitely be improved. I actually have the Cowboys slightly over the Eagles. For me, it's neck and neck, like you said.
Yeah.
But I do agree with what you're saying. I could see how the Eagles win the division. I'm not saying it's impossible because they do have the same coach that does help. And Doug Peterson is a really good coach. I mean, they won the division last year when people were thinking it would be the Cowboys. And I think the Cowboys have so much talent. It's like, especially with how they draft. I hate to say it, but they had a great draft, And it's
Yeah.
like,
I like the Tyler Biotic pick in the 5th round to get a center like that who can possibly start for them.
you should have got
Round, that was a great pick.
but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted him too.
Yeah, that's exactly the same guy I wanted.
Yeah.
It'd make more sense to pay Adams now before his value doubles in 2 years. Yeah, I think it makes more sense to pay him now because safety's the money always goes up for these type of players. But I don't know what the Jets are doing, if they're going to keep him or if they're trying to get rid of him. I don't know what the Jets are going to do with him. What do you think ultimately do with Adams? Do you think they trade him or do you think they give him the contract?
I think they end up giving him the contract. I think he's such a good player. They did draft a safety that I really like, and his name is escaping me, out of California. Aston Davis. He's somebody I really like for the Giants. He's more of a free safety, and Adams is a strong safety, obviously. But I think they would make like a really good safety combo because Davis is not very good against the run, but he's really good against the pass. And the reason I wanted him for the Giants is we haven't had a safety that's really good in coverage and that can like cover the deep half of the field. Yeah. So I thought he was a really good pick for the Jets, and he doesn't really have to start for them even because they have some other guys, and I can't remember.
I had a really good question. I don't know why. I just about now. So DeAndre Baker, right? You know what will happen with the situation. Let's say he's innocent. They say finally he's innocent. Do you think that he will miss any games, or do you think he still plays all the games? What do you think will happen with him? Will there be any discipline for him, or no? You think that?
Yeah, it's tough to say. If I had to guess, I'm going to say he's not going to be disciplined. Like he was found innocent. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to start to start the season.
Oh, okay.
I think he's missed all of these virtual meetings, and he hasn't really been with the team. And I know they haven't met as like a physical team, but he hasn't been participating in whatever they're doing. So I think they are going to hold that against him a little bit. Yeah. And he got so many chances last year, and he played so poorly, especially in the beginning of the season. But I just think somebody like Julian Love or maybe Darnay Holmes will end up starting opposite of Bradbury. I think, they're going to reward guys who play best in practice. And, maybe that could be Baker. I think Baker has a lot of potential. He doesn't have the blazing 4.4 speed that you would want in a cornerback, but he was by far the best cornerback at Georgia. He was really good.
He has
college,
potential.
He has a lot of potential.
He has a lot of potential, and I agree with you, but he is not working as hard as I think he should be. Last year he was falling asleep at meetings and missing meetings, and now it's happening again this year. And I'm like, you have all the talent. If you just applied yourself more, you could be a pretty good cornerback for us, which is a position that we need. I know we got Bradbury, but we could use you. Cornerbacks are so valuable.
Yeah, that's why he fell in the draft, I think, because supposedly he didn't even work that hard, getting ready for the combine. Yeah. And he ran a 4.5 40, which isn't terrible. But I feel if he trained for it and he took it more seriously, he could have been in the 4.4 range. Because if you watch him in college, he was shutting down SEC elite receivers, and he didn't give up a touchdown the entire season his last year at Georgia. So yeah, Baker has so much potential, but you're right, he doesn't have the right frame of mind, I think, to be an elite player in the NFL. Because a lot of players have talent, obviously, in the NFL. It's the guys who work the hardest, end up being the best. So.
And especially Joe Judge, you already know he's a no-nonsense coach. He's not going to take any of that. He's going to want the guy to apply himself. And if he doesn't see that he's applying himself like how he's supposed to, going to meetings, practicing, and, learning the playbook, that's something also he didn't know last year, which I was so furious about that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's your job, Yeah. It's crazy because, Joe Judge, it's been known, or he's said that he wants smart football players. He wants tough football players. And Baker didn't even know the playbook last year, and they had to dumb things down for him a little bit. And I'm sure he's smart and capable. He just didn't
do it. I'm pretty sure if he did it in college, to do it here is just a little bit. It's more complicated, but I hope he does. I'm rooting for him so much because we drafted him, and we traded for him, traded the pick. To get to him. In the first round, he's a first-round pick. So at the end of the first round, but still. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he applies himself and learns. Especially after this thing that happened with him, that because I really don't know if Judge is gonna like his attitude. The way he talks. I mean, obviously, I don't know because Judge just became our coach, but I guess we'll see what he does.
Yeah, everybody says though that he's like a no nonsense guy, and he he commands the room. He expects like a lot of the players, which I like. And yeah, like you said before, he's not going to play Baker just because he was a first round pick. Like he doesn't care about that. Like if Ballantyne is playing better than him at practice,
he don't care.
He's just going to play Ballantyne. Yeah, like
remember, he wasn't there when he got drafted. He has no loyalty to the guy. You know, it's different. Like if you were the coach when they were drafted, so you're like, yo, I want to see this guy succeed. But now he'll be like, Julian Love or Darnay Holmes is playing better than you. I'm going with them instead. You could be on the bench. You didn't really apply yourself when we give you the chance. I'm hoping that he works hard and does play for us, though, because like you said, and I agree, he's super talented. It's not the talent that is in question. It's the fact that he isn't applying himself, and he needs to.
Hopefully, like this legal stuff like goes away, and it'll be like a wake-up call for him. Like his lawyer, I don't know if it was him, but he put videos of himself like working out in like the Florida sun and like doing these crazy workouts. And his lawyer said that he was doing like Rocky like style workouts at like 4 a.m. and like working out like crazy. But it's kind of like, why don't you should have been doing this the whole time and not getting whatever. It's hopefully he doesn't have to miss any time, because there is a chance that it's like a NFL or a Giants suspension for whatever. I don't know exactly what's going to happen though.
Yeah. What was your thoughts about the Bradbury signing when we signed him? Were you happy that we got him, Bradbury?
Yeah, I thought it was a very good signing. I really wanted Byron Jones. I think Byron Jones is like a top 5 cornerback in the NFL. Yeah. I don't think Bradbury is that good, but Bradbury is good enough to be a number 1 cornerback. For Carolina didn't have a great defense last year, and he guarded, those elite receivers in the NFC South. I think he's big. He also is not a burner. I think he ran in the 4.5 range as well at the combine, but he's a very smart player. He went to Stanford, and we actually signed, I think, like 4 players who all went to Stanford as a coincidence. But I think Joe Judge does want those smart players, and they're going to play a lot of man-to-man press because Bradbury is very good in it. Baker is good like that as well. And I think Holmes is also a very physical cornerback. So I like that move. What do you think about that signing? Do you think that was a good move?
Yeah, I love the Bradbury signing. I mean, because I think we needed a cornerback, especially a number 1 cornerback. He solidified a guy, especially with the fact that Baker last year wasn't showing signs of being good. And because I wanted him to be like a number 1, but I think he could work as a number 2 now. So I agree with you, and I was just happy that we got him. Of course, I would have got the guy from Byron Jones, would have been amazing. But, I still think that Bradbury can play and could be a pretty good number 1 cornerback for us. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good signing by Miami. I think the Dolphins could be like a little bit of a sleeper this season.
Yeah,
if Tua. Yeah, I think it all comes down to how well Tua plays. But I thought he was amazing at Alabama, like when he was healthy. And they have a lot of interesting signings. Like I thought Byron Jones was a really good pickup by them.
Yes. Our back 7 on defense is kind of slow except for Peppers.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, our cornerbacks, besides Darnay Holmes, none of them are burners. Ballantyne is fast, but if Baker and Bradbury end up being our starting cornerbacks, none of them or either of them are not very fast.
No,
McKinney, he ran in the 4.6 range at the combine, which is a little concerning. And I don't know if he's going to be able to play like single high safety. Not Julius Peppers. Jabril Peppers is by far the most athletic safety we have. Julian Love also is not the most athletic as well. Blake Martinez is not super athletic. I think Connolly is really quick. But he's coming off a torn ACL. So, that's a good point. We don't have that much team speed in the back end. But one thing I do like that we did was we drafted all those linebackers at the the end of the draft.
Right.
And all of them are pretty athletic. So I'm hoping that one of those guys like really pans out, like maybe Cam Brown, And so on third down, we have somebody who can like cover some tight ends and, run sideline to sideline. But I think the biggest, one of the biggest X factors, and I did a video about it, is going to be Ryan Connolly.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was really good last year when he was healthy, like in those 4 games.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm hoping he comes back healthy. I like Connolly a lot.
I think a big guy on the offensive side, though, is Evan Ingram, if he can stay healthy. Because young quarterbacks always love to throw to the tight ends. And he was actually playing pretty well with Daniel Jones last year before he got injured. But I know he always gets hurt. But I'm really rooting for him to stay healthy and have a great season because I think he is a top talent in the tight end position. What do you think about Evan Ingram?
Yeah, I actually 100% agree that he's the X factor of the offense because you notice in the NFL, like teams are throwing to the tight ends more and more. Yeah. The 2 Super Bowl teams, had the 2 best tight ends in the league. And I think, Ingram he can be on that level as a receiver. He's not as good, a blocker as Kittle, obviously, but he's a very good receiver. And he only played 8 games last year. You saw the game against Tampa when he took that short pass.
Took him all the way. Oh my God, he's so fast.
Yeah, he's so fast, and he makes some amazing catches too. Like he makes one-hand catches, and like I'm hoping because the offensive line will be better, that Ingram won't have to block as much, and he can also like run some deeper routes down the middle. Where I think with Shermer, he had him go on those like short passes, and he would get crushed over in the middle sometimes, and he would get injured. So I'm hoping that he can stay healthy because he's a key. But I also like Caden Smith. I think Caden Smith is going to be good.
He'll be
as an all-around tight end.
Welcome back, Jared Williams. Yes, we missed you. He says, "Did y'all?"
Jared Williams.
We missed everybody here. Oh, you're a diehard Detroit. Oh man, that's tough. I guess because their teams aren't doing that well. We have decent, tight end. No, I agree. The tight end depth. But I think Ingram is a special type of tight end in terms of talent. Like David said, and I remember that play. That play is like burned in my memory of when he just ran across, Daniel Jones threw him ball, and then he just burned everybody in Tampa Bay. I was so happy that he did that, and that was a great play, and it worked out. And, man,
I like Caden Smith a lot, though. Like, if he ends up being injured for a couple of games, he had really good chemistry with Daniel Jones. And if you watch him at Stanford, he's not very fast, but he just finds ways to get open. A little bit like Jason Witten, which some people have tried to compare him to. And I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Witten, obviously, but they are similar type of players where they use their body to their advantage. He's a big guy. He has good hands, and he can go over the middle and like catch the ball in traffic. So I like Caden Smith a lot. And I like Levine Toilolo, who's like primarily a blocker, but
that's what they're going to be using him for. I feel like if they do use him, he'll be used to run block and pass block for us. So.
Yeah, and having like a really good pass blocking tight end will help like Nate Soldier and Thomas, because we haven't had that. I think Rhett Ellison was pretty good at that, but I think he's
not like Soldier whatsoever. I'm hoping. Yeah. I always wish that my players do well on the team, but it's like he's really been a disappointment for us. Speaking about Solder, do you think we should move him to the right tackle, or what do you think we should do with him? I
mean, he has the most upside out of all the candidates. Like, you could put Cam Fleming out there, who's a decent option. But I would put him on the right side. A lot of people want to put Soldier at left tackle and put Thomas at right tackle.
I don't agree with that.
I disagree so strongly with that. I think that's such a terrible idea for many reasons. Like for the short term, it's bad, but also for the long term, you want Andrew Thomas to play like his natural left tackle and get better at his future position. So and I think he's better than Soldier already. So I think it would be better for Daniel Jones. There was Daniel Jones was like on an interview during the draft, and it was like a Zoom meeting. And when Andrew Thomas got drafted, he was like he couldn't contain how happy he was. So I thought that was pretty telling.
That's great. When a quarterback gets happy for an offensive tackle, because
he did get beat up a lot last year.
Quarterbacks can tell. More than anybody, I think, looking at a tackle when they're playing the game, how good they are. And he probably saw like a lot of his college games and was like, yo, we get this guy and he plays like how he did in college. He can protect me pretty well. And that's something that we definitely need because our offensive line last year was pretty bad as well.
And I like him playing next to Hernandez because Hernandez is like another really good run blocker. So I think Saquon's gonna love running to like the left side.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they're going to be right next to each other. Solder on the right tackle. Hopefully he works out for us. If not, we got to get rid of him. We're just going to have to.
And I think the coaching will be a lot better. So hopefully that'll help Solder.
Yeah, I like Zeitler also. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, Zeitler is really good.
He likes Will Gates as for the center position. Alex does. This is his offensive line.
Yeah, that's actually exactly the offensive line I picked. I wrote an article for G-Men HQ about my ideal offensive line, and that's exactly what I picked. I put Gates at center, but I would actually switch to Lemieux after watching more tape of Lemieux. And there was a really good breakdown that Sean O'Hara did of like Lemieux in college. He is such a good run blocker, and he's such a beast. Yeah. So I'm hoping he can play center and like win that job. And Gates is so good that he can play like every position, so he's valuable as a backup. But yeah, I agree with that line for the most part.
Zong likes Matt Peart, and Nick Gates will learn from Solder and start eventually. Yeah, that's what I think Peart was got for. To start, like I think he may start as soon as not this year, but possibly next year if we don't have Solder anymore. If Solder doesn't prove that he can actually play. I mean, we've had him, and he's just been awful on the left tackle side. Now, hopefully on the right tackle side, he's better, but you never know.
Yeah, I think Peart is he's a little bit raw. I don't know how well he would play this season. Oh, no, he has so much potential. He's so athletic.
I want him to. He's a developmental project, so I would want him to develop and stuff. But I think he could be pretty good once he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a smart pick to have because there's so many good tackles in this draft. Like in a typical draft, he might have went in the second round, but there were a lot of good offensive tackles in this draft. So he fell to us at the end of the third.
Kane says Nick Gates is actually bad at guard. He was not strong enough, got overpowered. Should play a tackle unless he gets stronger.
Yeah, I mean, Gates is a tough guy. Like, he went undrafted out of Nebraska but because he doesn't have, like, long arms that you would want in a offensive tackle in the NFL. But, you know, he could get overpowered in the middle, but I feel like he's a good run blocker. Like, he moves people at least, and he's a tough guy. He's a little bit like Hernandez. He's just not as strong as Hernandez. And maybe he can add a little bit of bulk and some weight to him. And he can like be one of those utility offensive linemen and like play every position. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, he could. I was actually thinking Gates can maybe start at right tackle, like if Solder has a really bad start to the season.
I was thinking the same.
You know, Fleming is like what people think is going to be the backup, but maybe Gates can outplay him in training camp. So.
Yes. LeMahieu is a better option than Gates at center. He's sturdier. Just see if he can get the. Yeah, I think we agree with that. I think we both wanted LeMahieu.
Yeah, I think Lemieux has the most potential.
Yeah.
If the thing you have to worry about with him is his pass blocking, because some people think he has like slow feet, like moving side to side, and pass blocking is really important at center. Yeah. But as a run blocker, I wouldn't worry about him at all. I think you know, we could finally get a push on the offensive line where Barkley won't get hit in the backfield all the time. And he would be really good next to Hernandez as well. I would like that a lot. But, yeah, hopefully he can transition to center because there was, like, video of him on his Instagram practicing taking snaps. So, you know, that's something that I think he's been working on since he's been drafted. So hopefully he can win that job.
Somebody said the Eagles drafted Hurts over Mims. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
A lot of potential players over and anybody because Hurts is just I don't know why they did that. Like they could have got him later on. I felt like if they really wanted him.
Yeah, like Mims is somebody I liked for the Giants. Actually, I think he has a lot of upside. He played in the Pac-12, so I'm not in the Pac-12. In the at Baylor in the Big 12.
Yeah, that's a great guy. The Jets got. Yeah,
Mims. Yeah, he's so tall and fast. I think he was one of the fastest receivers at the combine, and he's also tall. So he has a lot of upside. I was surprised about the Jalen Hurts pick. I still don't really understand it.
I don't think the Eagles took Mims because they already took Jalen Reagor the round before, so they wanted to try another position. Now, the position that I'm confused about is quarterback, and they took Hurts. Like, what? I was really surprised. Second round, maybe later on, but second round, way too.
Yeah, and I heard that some people think he might contribute in other ways because he's really athletic. He's good with
he's
the ball in his hands. But I don't know. I don't know if he can be like a Taysom Hill.
I think they're going to use him like Taysom Hill. And the Eagles always try to do this with different types of guys, and I think that's what they're going to try to do with him. I don't think they only got him to be the backup quarterback. I think you're going to see him in packages come in here and there. He's going to be like a specialty type player, I think.
Yeah, maybe their thought process is they can put him in like near the goal line at quarterback for like special plays like that, and like maybe Wentz will last longer because he's not playing the whole game, and they can put like certain packages for Hurts.
That's a great point. Think about the Wentz. That's a good point, and I think that could be true. Mims is like DJ Chark, fast, tall guy. Yeah. I thought Mims was excellent. I was surprised he went so late.
Yeah, he was by far the best receiver at the combine. Like every drill, he had the fastest 3-cone drill, which is like important for pass rushers and stuff. But it shows that he's very agile and he could change direction. And I think he was hurt because he went to a school that hasn't had a good reputation for receivers. Like Corey Coleman came out of Baylor, and he was a similar athletic freak, and he didn't pan out in the NFL. So maybe people hold that against him.
Alex, we talked about this. We David were talking about how we wanted him, but the Cowboys took him. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted Biotish really bad, actually. I think Biotish, if he's healthy, because he played really bad in 2019. He didn't play really bad. He was still an All-American, but he didn't play up to his potential because he was hurt the whole season. Like, he played with a lot of injuries. And he didn't even participate in the combine because he had like a shoulder issue. But that was a good pickup by the Cowboys. I thought that was a good risk in the 5th round. Justin Jefferson, I like a lot. DeAndre Joseph, Justin Jefferson.
I thought the Eagles were going to get him, and I was happy that the Eagles didn't get him, and they took Rager. Now, Rager could be really good because he's a speedster. He's really fast. I looked at his 40 time. I forgot what it was right now, but it was like 4.3 or something. Really crazy speed. He's one of the fastest receivers in the draft.
I didn't know much about Rager, but I remember Justin Jefferson in college was so good out of the slot. Yeah. I was happy the Eagles didn't go after him.
Yeah, me too. I don't I'm just saying, like, to be devil's advocate though, I could see kind of why they went Rager because they love those fast receivers, and he's exactly that. But in my head and in my reaction when I did the draft reaction, I was like, yes, it didn't go Justin Jefferson. I was so happy because, I thought Justin Jefferson actually is one of the most underrated receivers in the draft.
I was surprised the Eagles didn't go after him because I think it was in the semifinal game. He had 4 touchdowns and like over 200 yards. So he was just dominating that game. And LSU, it's hard to know if did he play so well because Joe Burrow was that good, or are the receivers that good
with him?
So maybe Burrow being as good as he was like held against Jefferson. Because Jamar Chase, actually, if he was in this draft this year, if he was eligible, he would have been the first receiver taken.
For sure. Totally agree with that. Why is this man, right? He's talking about somebody in the chat was randomly bringing up wide receivers from the Broncos. Yeah, Broncos have a lot of good receivers. They drafted Judy and all that. I was surprised that Judy fell so much too. I really thought CeeDee Lamb, Judy, and all those guys were going to go a little bit higher. I thought the Jets did not take an offensive tackle, and they may take Judy or Ruggs or one of those guys because I heard the Jets loved Ruggs, like they really wanted him. So I was really surprised when they took Becton, but I thought that was a smart pick for them too at the same time. A lot of people
Becton is going to be a fun player to watch. He's just such a beast. He's so big. But I think Judy's going to be really good on the Broncos. I think Shermer as an offensive coordinator is going to do a good job. And Drew Lock was playing really well at the end of last season. So I think they should be good on offense. They don't have a great offensive line, but they have a lot of good weapons. They signed Melvin Gordon, who should be like a fantasy beast for Denver. So their offense should be exciting. They have a lot of good weapons for Drew Lock.
Yeah, I didn't understand why the Eagles got Marquise Goodwin. I did not get why. I mean, I don't know. more depth.
Yeah, that's like an under the radar pick. I thought he was decent for San Francisco last year. So yeah, I forgot that they acquired him.
Yeah, they acquired him and they gave up a draft pick, but it was a late draft pick. It was like pretty much they got him for free because they weren't going to do anything with that anyway. It's Wentz likes to throw deep, so drafting a speed receiver is what they needed. Yeah, that's why I think they wanted Rager. And Justin Jefferson doesn't have the speed that Rager does. Rager is literally, I think Henry Ruggs and him are like, Henry Ruggs is the fastest or one of the fastest, and so is Rager. I didn't know he was that quick. When I looked at his 40 time, I was really surprised. Like, oh, wow, this is why they took him. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, they have obviously Ertz, who's one of the best tight ends in the league, and they have Alshon Jeffrey, who's more of like a possession receiver. So they needed somebody as like a burner on the outside, like a Darius Slayton, or their version of him. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like the kind of receiver they needed is a speedy guy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, do you play fantasy football?
Yes, I do. I do. We did one on YouTube with a lot of subscribers and stuff, but I've been doing fantasy football since 2006.
Yeah, I'm the same. I get really into it.
I love it. But, he ran a 4.28, by the way. That's what Rager ran. 4.28.
Rager? Wow. Yeah. I didn't realize it was that
fast. Yeah. A 4.22 and a 4.28. He did it twice. Those were his speed. So he's really quick.
We have Derek Dillon. Derek Dillon ran a 4.28. He wasn't at the combine, but at his pro day, he supposedly ran a 4.28.
Quickly right now, and I just saw that. I was like, I remember now. I was like, at first I was like you. I was very puzzled as to why they took Rager, but when I saw, I was the speed. I really liked.
And you see, like Kansas City every year. Kansas City every year they take like
every year. It's like, what the hell? They always get like a speedy receiver.
McCall Hardman last year was actually really good.
Yeah, McCall. Yeah.
It's a copycat league, so maybe they're trying to copy the Chiefs.
Potential has more buzz potential than Matt Pert, who's a third-round pick, and have similar upside. I don't know about that, man. It's kind of harsh.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I think obviously Pert is much more better with his lateral quickness, like moving side to side. That's what you have to worry about with Becton because he is really athletic, like running forward. I think he ran like a ridiculous 40 time for somebody his size. But if you watch him on tape, like he's not able to really move his feet that well because he's such a giant person. So I think Pert does have a lot of upside, but it's hard to say if it's more than Becton. I think they both could be really good. But yeah, I like the Pert pick, and I like that he's a New Yorker. I root for like New York guys a lot. So
David does fantasy, so he will laugh at this. So we did a fantasy, and Heat Nation. This is why I banned him from this year. This is what he did. He took Julio Jones first overall. I was like, what's wrong with you?
That's funny.
In a PPR league, yeah, it's amazing. But what the hell, Julio? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's so funny when stuff like that happens. That's why I love fantasy. I remember a couple of years ago, Cam Newton was coming off his MVP season, I think. So he
wasn't even the best receiver. What the hell?
Yeah, somebody took in my league Cam Newton first overall.
Oh my God, what?
I thought that was funny. Yeah.
Than the Julio Jones pick. At least Julio Jones is a top receiver.
Julio, you can kind of justify.
Yeah, I could justify Julio. I mean, it's a very long justification, but when you said Cam Newton, it's like Cam Newton cannot justify it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why he picked him. It's so funny.
He must have been a Panthers fan or something.
Yeah, he's just somebody that didn't really like know how fantasy football works, and he's like, I'm gonna take like the quarterback I think is best. But yeah, that's my thing in fantasy. I never take a quarterback until like the end of the draft. Yeah. I think Daniel Jones. Honestly, I'm not just saying this. I think he's gonna be like a really good fantasy quarterback this year, and I think one of the biggest reasons is he's fast, and he didn't really use his legs last year, except in the first game.
Season last year, he actually had
last year he was good.
Yeah,
he had four ridiculously good games. He had 4 games where I think he had over 30 points. So, with a better team around him, better offensive line, better weapons, I think he's going to run the ball in like RPO plays with Barkley. And I think the offensive line is just going to help him. He's such an accurate passer. Like if Slayton and Ingram and at least Shepard or Tate, like one of those guys can just stay healthy the whole season, he could have a big year.
Well, who do you usually do fantasy with? Is it like friends, coworkers? Like, how's it usually work?
Yeah, I mean, I was in a league with coworkers, and then I didn't want to do it last year because I didn't want to go to like an actual. They have like a draft at a restaurant.
Oh, that's fun, David.
It's fun, but it's just like I was like after work, and I'm like, I don't feel like going.
Oh yeah,
going
it's grueling.
I have to like make like a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
So I just did a league with my high school friends. But yeah, if you do a league and you have a spot open, I'd be down to do it with you.
Same thing. If you have a spot open, I'd love to join your league. But my leagues are always a little different, David. I put in twists and shit. Like last year, we did a 2-quarterback league, and it was so much fun. But we only had
fun. Yeah, I've never done a league like that.
Yeah,
we should do another league like with some of our subscribers or.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. I had like 2-3 leagues that I was doing, and it was fun. And but like I said, I added 2 quarterbacks. We had 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a flex, a kicker, a defense, and a tight end. I think that was all the positions that we had.
Yeah, having 2 quarterbacks just throws like a monkey wrench into everything.
Now you got to take quarterback earlier than you usually do.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck with like Sam Darnold and like you don't want to be stuck with like those like bad quarterbacks.
You know what I did though? I took Christian McCaffrey with the 2nd overall pick, so I really lucked out because he was amazing last year.
Oh
he carried the team just by himself, and his PPR, we were doing a full point per reception, so he gets a lot of catches and all that.
Yeah, he had such a good year last year, and Carolina wasn't even good last year. Like
but he was. So
I don't really think Carolina is going to be that great this year. I like Teddy Bridgewater. But I just don't like, besides McCaffrey, I don't like a lot of their weapons. DJ Moore is decent.
Yeah.
But, I don't really understand what they did. Like, they traded one of the best guards in the league, Trey Turner, to San Diego for, like, a tackle. I don't know. I didn't like it all in the news that Matt Rule made.
I'm also mad at Odell because I drafted him last year. That's also why I'm mad at him.
Oh, really?
I took him in the 2nd round, and he really just...
Yeah.
Because a lot of people thought he was going to be amazing with Baker Mayfield and Landry and Odell. You think he's going to be a top 5 receiver, and he just really played bad last year. Terrible.
Yeah, Baker had a really bad year too.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to that game. I think that's the game I'm the most excited about is Daniel Jones. When Baker Mayfield talked so much smack about Daniel Jones, and then Jones ended up having a better season than him. And I think he's going to be motivated. Like, I feel like he's going to act like he doesn't care about that stuff, but I feel like in the back of his mind, it's going to motivate him to want to be good.
Teddy's going to be the only good thing on the Panthers. I disagree. I think Christian McCaffrey is also still going to be really good. Christian McCaffrey can do it all. He can run. He can catch. He's like a dual threat. He's great running back. The only running back I think that is better than Saquon in fantasy.
Yeah, as a fantasy running back, I think you're right. I think he's the best. If I had the first pick, I would just take Saquon because it's more fun to do for Saquon.
Yeah, of course.
I think Saquon could have a huge year too.
I remember last year Saquon was taken 1st overall in many drafts.
Yeah, he was ranked 1st, right? He didn't have a great year, obviously, but I don't blame him
because of injuries and a rookie quarterback, and like also because Pat Shurmur wouldn't run him the ball as much.
Yeah, and the offensive line, like he would get hit. Like in that Jets game, I think he only had like a couple yards, but he was getting hit in the backfield on every play.
That's why I felt, David, that offensive line was so important. Not to say that defense wasn't, but
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, Saquon and Daniel Jones. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly that. Like if you invest 2 top 6 picks in Saquon and Daniel Jones, and then you don't even give them like an opportunity to succeed. Yeah. I could understand the Andrew Thomas pick. I mean, I think that part of the reason I like Simmons so much is because I'm a Clemson fan. But I just, I'm worried about the defense still. I think our offense is going to score a lot of points. I think our defense, unfortunately, will not be great this season.
That's kind of true. I think running back is important, but you got to have a top tier defense then. Yeah, because you're going to have to be able to not fall behind in games. A lot of people fall behind in games and then they stop running the ball. They just have to throw because they got to come back. But I think if you have a top running back and a pretty good defense, you can win games. That's how it used to be back in the earlier years. I mean, I know it's a passing league, but still, I think you can. I don't think that's impossible.
Yeah, think about Derrick Henry, like how good Henry was.
Yeah, Henry took them to the AFC championship game.
Yeah, so, and like he was basically like their team revolved around him. Like they would do a lot of play action.
He had the most rushing yards last year. I didn't even know that until I looked it up. Like,
yeah,
whoa,
he's such a beast. He's like Brandon Jacobs a little bit, but he might be a little better. Like he's so hard to tackle. Like you don't like when he gets a full head of steam.
Yeah, he's hard to tackle, and once he has that full head of steam, it's no way to bring him down.
Yeah, he's like Jacobs like that.
No, I agree. No, I agree with that, Rob. I totally agree with that. Carolina doesn't have the defense for it. Yep.
No, he makes a good point though, because you could find really good running backs in the later rounds. Like Ahmad Bradshaw was a 7th round pick. Matthew Breida, who might be a top 5 running back in the league. I think Breida is really good. He was an undrafted player, so yeah, like sometimes you could find a really good running back later in the draft, but at the same time, McCaffrey was like a top 5.
Yeah, because like the Giants, I feel like are going to become more of a running team this year. That's what I really think they're going to do. I think they're going to rely more on Saquon than they did before, because last year we went completely away from Saquon, and then we were losing games really badly. Do you remember every game started the same? Saquon would get a rushing touchdown, and then guess what? Oh yeah, we totally forgot about him. They never gave him the ball. Like I don't understand why.
The most frustrating game, it was actually in 2018. And I think Saquon in the first half against Philadelphia had like 100 yards already rushing. And he was so dominant. And you could just tell he was like, on his game. And then in the second half, I think he only had like 4 carries. Yeah. And we ended up losing that game. But I thought last year we should have beat Philadelphia in both of those games. And we like blew it at the end. So, yeah, running the ball is still key. Like, and a lot of defenses are going with those like small athletic middle linebackers like Corey Littleton, and the offenses are like kind of adjusting to that and going back to like power. Like the Patriots a couple of years ago, they won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, obviously, but they were more of a running team. Like in that Super Bowl,
look who scored touchdowns at the end of the game would be a running back.
Yeah,
so they drafted Michelle and they drafted all these running backs. And the thing is, they used like 2 or 3 of them all the time, the Patriots, when they did do that.
Yeah, they always go running back by committee. So I think Dion Lewis will end up getting like a decent amount of carries.
What do you think about him being, the backup to Saquon? I think it was a pretty good pickup for us.
Yeah, and one thing Saquon struggled with was his pass protection, like pass blocking. So I think Dion Lewis, like in case Saquon doesn't get any better at that, can like play on 3rd down sometimes. And I think they're going to try to keep him healthy, so they might give him the ball. I think Javon Leak has a good chance of making the team. On my website, it's like a new website from today, but I put my like 53-man depth chart on my prediction for the first game of the season because I think it's fun to make.
Yeah, that's true. I wanted to address something Rob said. He thinks like running back is not important at all. Look at San Francisco. They were mostly a running team. Yeah. They were in the ball so well, and their defense was so good, they were able to win games. It wasn't Jimmy Garoppolo. It was more of their running backs. And then when Jimmy Garoppolo had to make the throws, he couldn't make it.
Yeah. Like in the NFC Championship game against Green Bay, I think he only threw the ball like 9 times.
In Green Bay, he barely threw the ball. Exactly. All they did was run. They had great running backs.
They had 3 really good running backs.
They had 3 good running backs. And the thing is, it's Shanahan who usually likes to throw the ball a lot. So you think he would. And actually, that's what cost him in the Super Bowl. Because in the Super Bowl, they went away from the run, and they started trying to throw too much. And he couldn't deliver it. Jimmy Garoppolo could not deliver the ball then at that time. That's what I'm saying.
That was a great Super Bowl.
Defense, it worked, Dirty Rob. That's what I'm agreeing with you on that. But I'm saying running backs are not, if you don't have an elite defense. Yeah, you got to have an elite defense. You got to have, I don't know about elite. You got to have a pretty damn good defense to do it.
Yeah, San Francisco did have a really good defense last year.
One of the best defenses,
Yeah, Nick Bosa is such a beast. Like, he was the biggest difference by far on that defense from last year. He was the 2nd pick. But, Nick Bosa is a beast.
Yeah. But, I think, like, people, that I think, yeah, running game is really important. I think it's just that some people don't think it's that important because everybody passes the ball. It's become a passing league. But if you could be really good at running the ball, controlling the clock, you can win games that way. It does happen.
Yeah, I know the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year, but
even in the Super Bowl, they ran pretty well.
Yeah, but San Francisco, they really should have won that game. Like they kind of blew it at the end, and I blame it on Garoppolo. Like Garoppolo, I think it was Emmanuel Sanders was wide open on like a deep pass, and he missed him. Yeah, if he makes that pass, they probably would have won the game. So, I think that's what I'm hoping for Daniel Jones is he's like a better version of Garoppolo where he doesn't have to carry the team.
Yeah.
But I think he's capable of it. But I'm just hoping they can run the ball really well.
I agree with what you're saying about Carolina, though, because their defense isn't that good. I agree with that, Dirty Rob. I do. But, who knows how the league could change, I mean, right now it's a passing league. One thing I remember in the 90s and even the early 2000s, it was more of a running thing. Like,
oh, yeah, big time. It was like first and second down, they like automatically ran the ball, and then third down they would pass like every time.
The Giants won a lot of
at least the Giants.
Yeah, we ran the ball all the time.
Yeah, we'd play like Rodney Hampton and just like run it up the middle.
David, that's how you beat the Patriots. You have to run the ball and have a pretty good defense. If you try to throw, except Eagles somehow that one year, but if you try to throw too much on them, you'll make mistakes. Like Atlanta, this is the perfect example. Atlanta had a 28-3 lead. And they had decent running backs. They had Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman. All they did was hand him the ball after they had that lead. And they said statistically, if they ran the ball every play and ran the clock out, they would have won the game. It just would not be enough time for New England to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, New England's got lucky in a couple of Super Bowls. Like that Super Bowl, they definitely should have lost. And then the Seattle one, we all know what happened on the 1 yard line. So I know Brady has 6 rings.
Oh, and don't forget the Raiders with the tuck rule.
I know. Yeah, a lot of the games, like against Carolina in that Super Bowl.
But that came pretty close to the Super Bowl later on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Falcons are chokers. I don't know if they're chokers. They choked one Super Bowl. I don't know if they're chokers. They should have ran the ball, though. I totally agree. That's the thing. If Marshawn runs the ball, most likely he gets in. Nobody could say for sure, but more than likely he would have gotten in, and that would have been the end for New England.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I think Kyle Shanahan is such a good coach. Like, he's so creative with his like play calls, and the way he runs the ball is, it's not as like simple as just running the ball. Like, I feel like he designs really good plays, and he's such a good offensive coordinator. But this is twice, 2 Super Bowls he's blown the lead.
God, 2 Super Bowls. The thing is,
that's like all people think about when they think of Shanahan now.
He went away from his own thing in this Super Bowl because they were running well on the Chiefs. The Chiefs could not stop the run. And then he started, when he gets too pass heavy, that's when you realize, okay, he got in his own way, which is funny because his father was the opposite. His father was like, run the ball first.
Yeah.
Terrell
Davis.
Yeah,
they had some really good running teams. Like even after Terrell Davis retired, they always would have an awesome running back. Like no matter who they put in there, they had like Mike Anderson and Rashawn Gary, I think. But yeah, it's funny that his father had like that kind of influence on him.
Oh yeah, of course. Falcons could put out. Yeah, if they ran the ball, they said statistically, if once they have that lead, they run the ball every play. And when you run, you can make mistakes. You can fumble, but you're less likely to make that mistake than if you're throwing, because I think Matt Ryan threw an interception and he fumbled the ball, so that put the Patriots back in the game. Yeah. Like they get closer to the touchdown and all that.
And all they had to do was like they would always snap the ball, and there was like 20 seconds left in the play clock instead of like
they didn't even run it all the way out.
Yeah.
And
he's like, oh, we play hurry up. We like to play up tempo, but it's like, all right, it's a Super Bowl. Just run the clock out. Yeah, that was so weird how they played.
If caught that one pass, that would have mattered too, because then they would have been in field. Oh, there was one time when they were in field goal territory and Matt Ryan gets sacked. Why?
That was the worst. That was by far the worst play. I remember that. I was like, why? Just run the ball, kick the field goal, the game's over.
Yeah, and then kick that field goal, game is over.
Yeah, I remember Julian Edelman made like an amazing catch. If he dropped that ball,
he did. Yeah.
They would have lost. So
I'm not saying
that was such a lucky Super Bowl.
Did everything correctly when they had their chances, But the thing is, you're not supposed to give Patriots those chances, and the Falcons did, and that's why the Patriots were able. Great comeback by Brady. You can't say anything about that, but it was just also Matt Ryan had so many blunders. Like, what was he doing?
Yeah. I was rooting so hard for the Falcons too. I was just like,
the first time they could win the Super Bowl, it would have been so cool.
Yeah, that would have been so cool if they won it. Yeah. And I was tired of the Patriots, obviously.
And for the Seahawks. So, yeah, I don't understand that.
Supposedly, like, Pete Carroll didn't like Marshawn Lynch.
No, he didn't.
He liked Russell Wilson.
There was a big dispute.
Yeah, and like, so after that, I think he never got the locker room to really like respect him as much. And like, just give him the ball. Nobody's gonna stop him. I think Belichick, like, he knew that if Marshawn Lynch got the ball,
they were scared because they felt like if they give Marshawn Lynch the ball, he scores the touchdown, right? Then they're gonna have to re-sign him and give him a big contract. I think that was also something they didn't want to do.
I feel like that's something he could have thought of, like, and he wanted Russell Wilson to be the hero.
Yeah, he wanted him.
He tried to do that pick play. That was such a good play by Malcolm Butler.
Oh yeah, I mean, we can't say the Patriots like that. When something like that happens, it's like they just knew how to get that.
Yeah, supposedly they practiced against that exact play.
What's so funny about Malcolm Butler is that Bill Belichick didn't like him later on and actually benched him in the Eagles game. It was a big factor
because they lost.
Yeah, because Alshon Jeffrey's like, who you got covering me? Nobody. I'm like wide open on every play.
Yeah, that was really weird because they couldn't stop anything in that game. Like, their defense was so bad, which is weird for a Belichick defense.
Yeah, that was a weird one. That was just Tom Brady trying to survive because the
Brady that might have been Brady's best Super Bowl.
Yeah, like, he threw over 500 yards and he broke the record, Super Bowl record. In terms of
that was an offensive game, but the Eagles had a really good offensive line, I remember, and they ran the ball mostly the whole game. So
he said Patriots are going. Oh, he said Gabe wants his team to go. Gabe is a Patriots fan. He wants his team to go 0-16 so he can get Trevor Lawrence.
I could see that. Like, that would be the Patriots' luck. Like, they go from Tom Brady, they have one.
You know what I can't see? The only reason I can't see is I can't see Belichick losing that much.
Yeah. I think the Patriots actually will make the playoffs this year. There's like an extra wild card team this year.
Yeah, there's
they have a better chance.
I
think Buffalo is going to win the division, and I think the Patriots are going to go like 10-6 or 9-7.
I think Buffalo should win that division. They're so good on both sides, not just defense but offense.
Yeah, and I like their running back at a FAU.
Yeah,
Singletary or something.
Singletary, and then they drafted AJ Dillon too. So I have two pretty good running backs.
Did I thought AJ Dillon didn't go to
they drafted another running back. AJ Dillon, other team, didn't he? The Packers, I think.
The Packers,
let's get to that. I was so confused that the Packers took AJ Dillon. They already have Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. Like, they really didn't like Jamal Williams or something, like, to take another running back. Like, they were taking, I don't know, they were taking players they didn't need at all. Like, they had a really good draft, I think.
It was almost like they were picking to spite Aaron Rodgers. Like, are we going to help our quarterback that's still kind of in his prime and like maybe has a couple of good years left? Let's just draft Jordan Love. And
they could have had a receiver. There were so many good receivers. Even in the first or second round, they passed on them. It's like, what? And they took a backup quarterback in the first round. Now, I know he'll be great for the future, but damn.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are gonna make the playoffs. Brady wasn't great last year. He did look like he was finally like declining a little bit. And you're right, they were more of a running team. So I could see whoever plays quarterback for them, like being a game manager, and they still have a really good defense. Yeah. So I think the Patriots will make the playoffs.
Yeah, and that was like the Bills got Espinoza. That was a good pick for them.
Yeah, that was in the second round.
Yeah.
A lot of people in like the mock drafts, because I read the mock drafts like all year.
Round, that's what I remember anyway. Wasn't he?
Yeah. A lot of people had Espinoza as like a top 10 pick, like during college football season. But he's not that athletic, but he can still get after the passer. Like he's a good fit for that defensive line. They already have a really good defensive line, so. Bears winning NFC North. I think we're gonna beat the Bears in the second game of the season.
I actually picked us beating the Bears, but I think it's gonna be really, really close. I'm so
because they have a lot of talent, obviously, on defense.
So much talent on defense. That's what I'm really scared of.
Yeah,
it's not their And I also think Nick Foles is an upgrade from Mitchell Trubisky. And because I think that the coach, he knows, like, I think he was like with Andy Reid or something like that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's like a Andy Reid disciple. Matt
So,
Nagy.
yeah, I think Nick Foles can only work well with like Andy Reid type system.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he might be a good fit in that offense.
I think that's why they got him, because the coach likes him.
I don't want the Solder to be starting for that game because I could just see Khalil Mack just throwing him around like a rag doll.
Wait, not even that right tackle? Like, you don't want him starting at all?
No, I don't. I hope they have like Nick Gates or Cam Fleming at that time because I think it was last year when he like dominated against Solder.
Packers played him last year. Dylan, because so what? You gotta sign. Aaron Jones was so good last year. How could you just let him go? Or at least let it go.
AJ Dillon he's a beast of a runner. He's a big guy. So.
But if you have AJ Dillon, does that mean they're just gonna let Aaron Jones? Aaron Jones is a pretty damn good runner too. Last year, he was the reason they're winning games, not Aaron Rodgers. It was really a lot of it was they were more run heavy than I've ever seen them, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think Rodgers didn't have a great year. Actually.
No, he didn't. I had him on my fantasy team. Freaking guy.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Is that in the two quarterback league?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to try that this year. That sounds kind of like
you should do it, David, with us. I think we would have a lot of fun. And we
definitely, man. I would definitely do it.
Yeah. Patriots win like 3 or 4 games. That's it, says Gabe.
If they're thinking long term and they really want Lawrence, it might be a good idea. I could see Belichick doing that because he wants to like prove that he can win another Super Bowl without Brady. And I think Lawrence
will say, yeah, but you had Trevor Lawrence, the best quarterback from college, like a short first overall pick. He's so talented, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm a Clemson fan, so I love him. And
I like Clemson's my team too in college. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know that. So he's awesome. He's so tall, and obviously he's athletic. He's kind of like Daniel Jones in that way, but
Sunshine. You seem to remember the Titans?
Yeah, he looks exactly like that.
Yeah, just like that guy.
But
literally seem to suck. He said. Yeah, what are you saying, David? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, I was gonna say Clemson's best receiver is out for the season, Justin Ross.
Oh yeah,
he had some kind of like spinal injury or something. I heard that
too,
yeah, he was supposed to be a top 10 pick too. He was gonna be really high in the draft.
It sucks. It always sucks to see guys like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants his team to suck to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
I don't know. You never know. Like maybe Trevor Lawrence doesn't pan out.
To get a top talent like that, like sometimes it is understandable. I know I would never want my team to suck, but I understand the guy saying, our team's going to suck for a while, so let's get the best quarterback you can ever get.
And a lot of people like Justin Fields too as like a top 5. He might be pretty good.
But they have such a good defense. The Patriots too, so with the all that stuff.
Yeah.
Patriots will probably get 6 to 8 wins, Alex says. So I guess you don't see them making the playoffs.
Patriots 10-6. I could see them being 10-6.
I would be really. What do you think about Jarrett Stidham? You think he'll be able to be a good quarterback in this league?
Yeah, the one knock I have on Stidham, because I don't watch too much of Auburn, but when Darius Slayton was at Auburn, he wasn't that good. Like, he didn't have a great season in college, and he went in the 5th round. So I'm thinking I kind of blame that on Stidham a little bit. But he did look pretty decent in some of the preseason games. So, and it's kind of telling to me that the Patriots didn't sign like a big free agent quarterback. I know they got Hoyer back, who's like a pretty good backup, but I think they're going to ride with Stidham.
Because Hoyer played for them too. So it's like, he knows the system.
Yeah, Hoyer's been with them for a while.
It's going to be a starter. That's what they're saying pretty much. What's up, Sports Expert 101? Welcome to the stream.
What's up, Sports
Expert? He said, I can see that 6 wins. I don't think the Patriots are going to be bad. They're still competitive. We'll see. The Patriots are the most confusing team to like put where you're going to put them, because they don't have Tom Brady, and it does matter because they had him for how long now? Like 20 years. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, their quarterback's a big question mark.
They have a really good defense, but you need. This is where their running backs are going to have to carry them or something. If Stidham is not the guy, you know, Stidham cannot throw. We'll see how he is. I don't want to say good or bad because I have said it before, and then they completely turn out to be amazing. And the last thing I want to do is make a Patriots quarterback good because I am a little superstitious when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They have no weapons for Stidham. I still have Edelman.
I don't know. I think Buffalo's going to be like 11-5. I think they're going to have a really good season. Yeah, I think the Jets actually should be better. I still think Darnold is decent. I don't like the weapon.
Darnold gets way too much hate. He's not as bad as everybody thinks he is, but he, like you said, yeah, he's just decent. Like
yeah.
Some people love him too much, like Colin Cowherd, who loves Sam Darnold, like if it's his own son or something. It's like
I think Mike Greenberg on ESPN said he's like the best quarterback in the AFC or something crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah, some people are really high on him.
Cowherd was saying the same thing. He loves Darnold, and he hated Baker, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's the same thing in college. Like everyone thought Darnold was going to be so good at USC, and he makes a lot of mistakes. Like he'll make amazing throws, and he has like the all the arm talent and the intangibles, but he just makes a lot of mistakes. I don't think he's mentally.
Wow, he thinks Alex doesn't think Edelman is good anymore. He's getting old. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, last year he still was decent.
He's still pretty good this year.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think he's going to have such a great year because he had really good chemistry with Tom Brady, obviously. So
yes, so
I think Brady was perfect for him.
Drew Lock. Everybody talking about Drew Lock. A lot of Broncos fans in here. Colin loves Lock. Do you think Drew Lock will be good for the Broncos, or do you think they're going to have to look for another quarterback soon?
Yeah, I worry about their offensive line a lot. I have a theory that John Elway, possibly would have lost his job as like president of the Broncos, even though he's a legend. But they had a couple of bad years. But I think Drew Lock actually saved his job because he played really well at the end of last season, and he drafted Drew Lock. So I think his goal this year was to make Drew Lock as successful as possible and like surround him with all these good weapons. So yeah, I think he could have a good year because he does have a good team around him and he has a really good arm. And I think Shermer is a good offensive coordinator as well. So yeah. I just worry about their offensive line.
Better offensive coordinator than he is head coach. He proved it with Case Keenum and these other quarterbacks when he was in Minnesota. But when he came to the Giants, I don't know what happened with him, man. Like some guys are just better at making offensive schemes and not being control of them. And when he was doing that, he was making some.
I think he was offensive coordinator with the Eagles back when like Chip Kelly was the coach.
That's true.
And Nick Foles had like a really good year.
Had a really good year with Chip Kelly as the coach.
Yeah.
As Pat Shermer there too.
Yeah, Foles is such an interesting quarterback because he's like really good sometimes, but then he's also
can either be really good or really bad. That's what you get when they like no middle. He's just really good or really bad.
Yeah, he's gonna win a Super Bowl or he's gonna go like 6-10.
Your prediction, I don't agree with, Jared. Let's see if he does. I'll explain why, but you go ahead, David.
Looking at this prediction, I actually agree with the order of it.
Really, the Cardinals will be the best team, and the Rams will be
You think the Cardinals are going to be good?
I think the Cardinals are the sleeper team in the division.
I'm not as high as other people on Kyler Murray, and their offensive line isn't very good. They have some better weapons.
Last year, pretty good offensive lineman in the third round, though. But I mean,
that's true. That's true.
Does need more work, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a really good division. I think the Rams should be a little bit better. I could see them being around 8-8, but I think Russell Wilson.
Seahawks too high though, 11-5. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I just think Russell Wilson is that good that I think he can. Yeah, because they don't have a great offensive line either, and they don't have like a great team around him on offense.
Yeah, Russell Wilson always finds a way to make the playoffs, so I totally agree with that. Probably will, but the thing is, their defense. I don't know what they did with it. Like, they didn't bring back Clowney. They got some guys in the draft way earlier than they were supposed to draft. They reached on a lot of picks, don't you think?
Yeah, they picked like Jordan Brooks in the
first round. It was like, what?
Yeah, he was on that show Last Chance U. You ever watch that on Netflix?
Actually,
it's about these guys who go to like a community college and they try to like rehabilitate their college careers. But yeah, he was a surprise in the first rounds. And I think Russell Wilson is one of those quarterbacks that he could win no matter like who his receivers are, no matter how good his offensive line is. I think there's only like 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the league like that, like Mahomes and Watson, and I think Wilson is in that category. So yeah, I think they'll end up making the playoffs again. And then 49ers, I think, are just so talented.
I don't know why. First of all, I just want to say I don't know why Jared brought up NFC West, but it's great that you did. I agree with this one more, what Alex said, but I don't think Cardinals are 8-8. I think they're 9-7. I think you could potentially have 3 teams from this division. I know it sounds crazy, David, but it has happened, I think, before.
Yeah, that's happened, yeah. It is a good division. Unfortunately, we have to play all.
I think it's the best, actually, in football, honestly. I don't think the Rams will be 5-11, though. Maybe like 7-9. I think they'll still be decent.
I think we could beat the Rams, too.
Oh, yeah. That's another pick that I had. That's one of our wins that I had. Yeah, Rams.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I think we could beat the Rams. Yeah. I actually think we could beat the Steelers. I don't think we'll start 3-0.
Steelers, I had because of their defense. I thought, and Ben Roethlisberger, if he plays well, I think they might beat us. But I also said that that is a winnable game for us. But I think we're going to lose. That's what I said.
Yeah, I talked to some Steeler fans. And Ben Roethlisberger always starts off the season really slow, and he didn't play at all last year. Yeah, and he doesn't keep himself in great shape in the offseason, supposedly. So, yeah, he's not like on the TB12 method where he eats like avocado ice cream and stuff. So, yeah, I think we have a chance in the first game. I know Steelers have a really good defense, and that'll be a tough test for our offensive line with like T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree. But we're at home and it's Monday night and it's the first game, so I think we can possibly win that game. It'll be close.
Yeah, I would say 8-9. That's what I have them. I probably have more leaning towards 9. It's not just because of Kyler Murray. I love what they've done. If you look, they got Isaiah Simmons, the guy that you like, David.
Yeah, that's true.
They got
I forgot that they had him actually.
They got DeAndre Hopkins, and they got you were talking about offensive line, which I agree with you. It is shaky, but they took it in the 3rd round.
I like Josh Jones. Yeah, they got Josh Jones in the 3rd round. I was just
going to mention who I think could be really good for them.
A lot of people had him in like the top 10 or top 15.
He was supposed to go in the late 1st round originally.
Yeah.
But he slid all the way to the 3rd round, which good for the Cardinals because they didn't have a 2nd round pick because they traded for DeAndre Hopkins. So getting him in the 3rd round, I think, was a steal for them. And if he's as good as people say, that can bolster their offensive line, which is very important. Like, man, people don't talk about offensive line, but it's really important on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, I watched like the Senior Bowl a lot because I was writing a lot of articles about the draft. Yeah. And Josh Jones was by far the best offensive lineman at the Senior Bowl. He was like dominating in all the drills, and I think that was a really good pick in the 3rd round. I don't really understand why he fell.
Yeah, and also the Cardinals have Kenyon Drake, who's a pretty good running back too. Like they traded Johnson, but they still have another running back that, if you saw his games last year, he almost single-handedly beat the 49ers. He ran so well on them. I don't know why, but it was crazy, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the Cardinals beat us pretty bad last year too. I thought we were going to win that game.
Edmonds? Oh my God!
Edmonds was
Barry Sanders. I was like, what the hell was that? I hate
the Cardinals. The Cardinals took advantage of how slow our defense is because Edmonds would just run to the outside every time.
4 touchdowns. Fantasy? Oh my God!
Yeah, he just burned our linebackers, and our defense as a whole is too slow.
What's funny, David, is that I'm a Giants fan, but I know their defense was bad, so a lot of times I'll take a running back from the opposite team that was playing the Giants.
That's smart.
And I had Chase Edmonds that day. He had 40 points because he had 3 or 4 touchdowns. It was crazy. He had a monstrous game against us.
I think I might have had him, but I benched him that week or something like that. I always have the best bench. That's what's so frustrating about fantasy. is I'll have like the best bench, and then I'll end up like picking the wrong player the wrong week. Like that's like I don't know who to start because I have so many good players. But yeah,
well, this is a great point that Colby Sports brought up. He's a Broncos fan. He says we improved our offensive line this year. We got Cushenberry in the draft, Glasgow in free agency, and we already got Reisner and James Bowles is the weakest spot on the offensive line. So yeah, but that left tackle is really important too, though, Colby. And Bowles, I don't know how good he is, but I do think you improved your offensive line from last year. What do you think about that? All of that.
I remember Bowles. Oh, I don't know if you heard that thunder.
That was thunder. Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, in South Florida we get some crazy thunderstorms. But yeah, Bowles is somebody I really liked for the Giants, and then we took Evan Ingram. But I remember in that draft, I wanted him because we needed offensive line help. But yeah, he's not been very good. And Cushenberry, he could be a really good fit in your kind of offense.
Yeah, the third round.
You know, in zone blocking scheme. Yeah, Cushenberry is a solid pick for the offensive line. So yeah, maybe your offensive line can like overachieve. But yeah, Bowles is somebody that's going to be important for you guys because
what did you
hopefully he's not like an Eric Flowers.
Yeah, what did you think about them getting Melvin Gordon in free agency when they already had Philip Lindsay? Do you think that was a smart move for them? For the Broncos?
Yeah, I think it's always good to have like really good running backs.
Yeah.
If you know, a lot of people, it's a copycat league, so maybe they're thinking like, look at San Francisco and they signed Tevin Coleman, but they already had Breida and they had some other good running backs from. They had McKinnon, who was actually like one of their highest paid running backs, and he didn't even play last year.
Oh, yeah.
So I always think it's smart to have like multiple.
I don't understand what the 49ers and McKinnon, like they gave him all this money and he's just never plays. He's always hurt, never shows up.
But like they don't miss him at all, which is crazy.
They had Breida. They had Breida. They don't have him anymore, but they had Breida and they had Coleman and they had other guys that were stepping up. They had another running back too. That I don't know why he's the best one out of all of them, but he's escaping me. If you could remind me, I don't know. Maybe you remember who the running back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but because I just want to make sure that my baby's not asleep or not woken up. Is it cool if I like leave and come back?
Yeah.
I've never done that before. I know it's kind of rude, but
no.
I just want to make sure.
No, go ahead.
What time were you planning on?
I don't know. I usually let the guests tell me when they gotta go. You know, so whenever you gotta go, you let me know.
I guess they'll do it a little longer. I just want to like leave and then come back if that's cool.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Man.
I'd rather have Dion Lewis than Melvin Gordon. Why? Melvin Gordon is so good. What are you talking about, Mile High? Why are you hating him? You should kick Hokey for life on your Discord. All he does is spam. I didn't even know he was on my Discord, to be honest, Team Nation. I don't really pay attention to Discord as much. Discord for me is more like, here's my stream, come and watch me. But I will look at Hokey for life and get rid of him if I have to. So David is checking on his child. He'll be back. You know. But yes, this is a great stream. It's already been 2 hours. I can't believe it. Fumbles. I like Giants Alliance posters. I like the way he talks about football. I think he's a great YouTuber, and I just hope he grows. He's okay. Yeah, of course. You got to be okay with the players staying at home. Can I hide Mile High? No, you can't hide him. What the hell? Why would you hide Mile High? He's one of the greats. He's just making fun of Melvin Gordon. He did fumble a lot. I mean, that's not like it's not true. We got 17 likes. Keep it up, guys. Let's get more likes if we can. No, you don't get to see the new hat now, Alex, because I was going to show it to you in Midwest stream, and you said, well, Midwest was right. If he don't want to let you in, he shouldn't let you on. But I was just going to go on there for 2 minutes to show the hat. Now I got to wait to see the hat. He's a crazy man. He thinks you're crazy. Melvin Gordon is wow. Melvin Gordon is like Daniel Jones. Come on, stop. Just stop. Yeah, well, Midwest was right. So you ain't gonna see the hat until my next stream, whatever that is. Maybe on a 2K stream tomorrow or whenever I do another one. But for real, I hope he plays well and wins games for us. I saw the new hat. Yes, I hope you didn't screen captured it because they don't know what it is, Mile High, and I would rather be that way. I was not right. Okay, Alex, I was not right. It would have been. Why am I not right? All I asked was with Midwest. He was calling a stupid MLB draft I don't care about. All I said was let me on for a couple of minutes and I'll pull my hat. That's it. You know. Yeah. By the way, David, you can always leave. Yeah. You gotta take a break to use the bathroom or check on your. You can always do that. Don't ever feel like you're like glued to the screen because that's the big thing about having two people. Because like if I have to do something, you can take over or the other way around.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm new to this YouTube thing.
I'm just that's what I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know how other people do it, but on my streams, you're always welcome to go whenever you want, whatever you got to do. If you like, let's say you got to end the stream because you got to watch the baby, I understand. I totally get it. You know?
Yeah, I just want to make sure because if my dog starts like barking,
I get that because like having kids. I don't have any kids. I'm not married or anything, but I know that's a big responsibility, and I know that also because Bad Dog has a kid, and he always talks about it, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Doing YouTube, your kid, that's kind of, you gotta do it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, this is so much fun to me. Yeah, I love doing this stuff, talking sports. So
David is a fun guy. I've actually had a lot of fun talking to David tonight. It's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Colby Sports. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. All your supporters are really cool. Like a couple of these guys, like Alex Sports, he comes to my streams sometimes. Jared Williams.
I'm telling you, Mile High, Colby, everybody who's here, because these guys always come into my streams. They're big supporters of mine. Please, I'm telling you, you won't regret it because his streams are always interesting. I'm always in there. Please subscribe to Giants Alliance.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm always trying to think. I want to ask you this actually because you've been on YouTube longer than I have. First, I wanted to ask you, like, how long have you been doing YouTube?
Oh man!
And then how much do you stream versus like make videos, and how do you decide?
Thank you for bringing this up. This is an excellent question, David. So YouTube, I've actually been around for 10 years, but I was on a different channel. It was The Movie Critic was my first channel, and I would literally watch movies and review it. That's what I was doing. But then I was watching guys like Entertainer, Bad Dog, and they made it seem so much fun last year. That's when I switched from Movie Critic into the Sports Critic. And I really wanted to talk about sports and give my opinions on sports and movies, but just have different channels. Last year was when I created this channel in April. So, and the fact that Entertainer's a Giants fan and I'm a Giants fan, so we always talk to one another either on stream or whatever. He comes on this channel a lot. I want to go on his channel whenever he'll have me. That'll be great. So that's how I did that. And I always created YouTube because I want to get my opinion out there about football and sports. Because the thing is, people only knew me as the Movie Critic back in the day. Like they were like, "You're only a movies guy," but no, I watch a lot of sports as well. Huge sports fan. Like football is my favorite, but then when football has an off season, I then try to gravitate more towards basketball, and then baseball is like it usually has its own summer baseball usually, because that's this weird thing. What was the other question? I think I missed what the other one was. I really want to answer too.
Yeah, I was thinking of a new question I wanted to ask you because while you were saying that, because I didn't realize I remember you talking during your streams about like you as the Movie Critic. So I wanted to ask you, did you see Uncut Gems?
Oh, what a movie that was! Yes,
I just saw that 2 days ago. I like think about that movie. Like I know it's a good movie because I've been like thinking about it for like the last 2 days, like what happened and like why he did certain things. But yeah,
Yes.
that was such a crazy. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but that was a really good movie. What did you think of it? Like without trying to.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. There was a lot of things that I still am thinking about, like because I also saw it just recently. I didn't see it in the movie theater. I saw it on Netflix. When Netflix came out with it, I was so happy.
Yeah, that's how I saw it too.
I heard a lot of great hype, and it actually it lived up to the hype. It was a pretty good movie, and yeah, it's just there's a lot.
Wait, so you don't do movie? You're not like movie critic at all anymore. Like you don't do. Like,
I still have the channel, and I have the option to always go back and do movie reviews, but I haven't done movie reviews because of the COVID situation that has happened. I haven't been able to watch any movies in the theaters.
Oh, okay. So you can only review it, like you can't review a movie.
I review older movies, but I like to review more current movies. But that's something that I've been thinking about doing, is just reviewing older movies and putting it on there. Reviewing movies is one of my favorite things to do too. So that's not something that will ever go away, I think. I used to do like movie talks where I legit talk about movies, like favorite movies, movie updates, like what's going on, when this movie's coming out, all this different stuff.
So I just started following you. So you it seems like you stream like almost every night.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you like how much you stream versus
streaming video. I know a lot of people that like to do videos, and I don't have anything against videos, but most of my content is streaming because I love the interaction with the people that you could just have right away. With video, you have interaction, but it's a little bit later on, because they comment on it, and it's not the same. Because even if you read every comment, you're not going to comment on every comment,
Yeah.
That's why I like live streaming more. But I do get the people that are strictly, for me, live streaming just works better. So I probably say like, for me, actually, I would say it's like 90% live streaming, 10%. No, that's way too high. 80% live streaming and like 20% videos. I really don't make as many videos as I should. I feel like I should be making more videos, but I love live streaming. I try to live stream almost every day. I'm addicted to live streaming. Like I love it.
No, it is fun. It is kind of addicting. I agree with that. Like during the day, sometimes I'll be like, it would be kind of fun to live
stream. I play 2K. I can play 2K just for fun, but I live stream it because I can still talk to the community and play 2K.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm actually really into Madden. I don't know if you're into that, but I was thinking about doing a Madden stream.
I do. I was doing Madden, but I really don't like the new Madden 2020 that much. I'm not a big fan of the game. I don't know if you are, David. I feel like they've been progressively getting worse.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, the game, there's always a couple of plays. Like this year, it's HB Stretch, where there's always like a cheesy play that, But I thought it was cool that you're like influenced by Entertainer, because I went on his show. I just DM'd him one time because I wanted to promote one of my articles I wrote for G-Man HQ.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun on his show, and he's a nice guy, so that helped. But it was a lot of fun, like talking and then seeing like the feedback from the comments, and that made me want to be on it too. And I know you've been on a show too, and he's been on yours. Yeah. So he's been a big influence for me being like involved in Giants YouTube, and the live streams are a lot of fun. He was telling me, I asked him a similar question, and he was saying like videos are better. Like it's better to do more videos than stream. But I agree with you that streams are more fun, and it's because when I'm making videos, I feel like the way I say something, like I'll say the right information, but I don't like the way it sounds, so I always like start over and then.
Yeah, and for videos,
editing is tough. Yeah,
you gotta edit with videos and stuff, and I'm not like into the editing part. I just want to talk and just boom, live streaming. I always find it so much more interesting. Plus, like once you do live streaming and have a consistent audience, they do come for your videos, but they'll come more for your live streams, and they'll stay there. And I think they're both great things. Like I'm not saying don't make videos. Videos also, but for me, I think live streaming is more fun. Entertainer told me the same thing he told you.
Yeah.
And try to do more videos and live streams, and it just wasn't me. Like I appreciate his advice. There was nothing against that. It's just I got to do what I feel that I have the most fun doing. And honestly, it is live streaming, you know.
Yeah, live streaming is it's so much fun though with the chat. I think that's the best part. But
which videos of mine have the most views are live streaming actually. And like a lot of people say videos is a great way to grow. It's true. But okay, I've done breaking news. This is something I like to do on my channel too. If I ever get breaking news, I like to go live instantly and report it, kind of, you know, and give my opinion on what happened. A lot of people come to that. But if I do a video and I do breaking news, it does not get the same amount of views because I don't know. I guess a lot of people are doing the same thing. So
yeah, there is like a definitely an advantage to being live where you want to see what that person's saying in this moment. That's a good point.
The most I think
videos have better like replay ability.
That's true. You're not gonna watch, nobody really watches a live stream over that much as they would a video. You're totally right about that. But also the video thing, what makes it kind of hard about video is you don't want to make it too long, but you don't want to make it too short. You got to find this like sweet spot, I would say, for that, you know. While live streaming, I don't think it matters. You could go live for as long as you want, for as little as you want, as long as people show up. That's the thing, you know.
For me, I feel like I'm better at writing than videos, but I think videos are like more fun.
Oh no, yeah,
so and do like a little bit of both.
You know, that's what drove me. That's what really I really liked about your channel, because you actually have experience writing articles, and I know how hard that is because before I was doing the video movie reviews, I was actually writing movie reviews, like for papers and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
I think writing is very, very hard, and a lot of people don't understand because, you know, it's difficult, but you're doing it, and I think that's great. And that's why I also put your link in the channel for your website so people can check that out.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's I actually enjoy writing. Like if it's about the Giants, I can write about it.
You can write it. I mean, it's something you like, right? But imagine if you watch a movie that's terrible, like it's you can rant on it, but it's not the same enjoyment as if you enjoyed the movie. But this is Giants. Also, you're choosing, you're writing whatever you want about the Giants. Nobody's telling you write anything. That's great, but you know, it's different if you're doing a movie review.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, like what made you want to even get involved in YouTube, like to start your own channel? Was it somebody that like influenced you?
The funny thing is, like how I talk about entertainment, he wasn't the guy that made me want to create YouTube originally, because I said I came out in 2010. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a long time.
There were these great movie reviewers back then, and I saw that they were doing it, and I was already writing movie reviews. So I said, you know what? Let me try video, and I really enjoyed video. But then it came to the same thing that I'm talking about now, where I had to do so much editing because I stumble sometimes when I'm doing videos.
Yeah, sometimes you make like the smallest mistake, you're like, oh, I have to do it all over.
Exactly. And so what I would have to do is I would have to stop myself. I would do like a minute of talking, stop, a minute of talking, stop, like create new clips and then put it together. And I hated doing that. Like that's why I started this thing called like Movie Talk on my channel, where I just go on and I usually have a guest or somebody, or I'll do it by myself. I don't even like Movie Talk. I did a lot by myself, where I was just talking about different movies and different news, because I would have news and updates and say, this is coming out. Oh, did you know Robert Pattinson is going to be the new Batman? Which I'm so pissed about. But yeah, I'm a huge movie buff, David. I don't know if you are, but I'm a huge movie show buff, all that kind of stuff. I love that.
I wouldn't consider myself a movie buff. I actually like comedies and stuff the best.
Yeah, comedies are great too.
Yeah, but my friend was a movie buff and growing up, and now he's like an assistant director, and he works on like Shameless. I don't know if you know that show, but he's worked on some pretty big movies.
It's a great show. Yeah. A bunch of seasons on Netflix. I heard about it. Never seen it, but I heard about it for sure.
It's a cool show. It's funny. It's like it's not a serious show, but he's been on Criminal Minds. I know a lot of people like that show. I've never watched it, but he's worked on that show. So yeah, it's cool to see like his perspective, because he sees all these guys on TV in person. But I've never been into movies. I've always been into sports. I'm just crazy about every sport.
Yeah. I agree, but I would do both because I always liked movies and sports. Because in New York, going to the movie theater, as like people used to always do stuff like that. And then Blockbuster. Do you remember Blockbuster?
Oh man, I was like the most frequent Blockbuster person ever. I would rent like a new video game every other day. Yeah, I was big on Blockbuster.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but sports takes. Yeah, but there's times where sports is not on. That's when I would be watching. You know when I'd be watching my movies, David? I'd be watching it late at night when all the sports are done and I don't care. So late at night is when I used to watch a lot of my movies or shows or whatever it was that I was watching.
When I was a kid, I used to watch Conan O'Brien like every single night, like when I was in high school. I don't know how I like made it up to go to school the next day because I'd be up to like 1 a.m. watching.
Oh my god, the late night stuff. Oof. I remember I used to watch that too. Conan. I used to watch Jimmy Kimmel. I used to watch Leno back in the day. Like, so late night shows, man.
Yeah, now I'm just watching YouTube. That's what I watch.
YouTube has taken over. YouTube and Netflix. That's all I watch right now. Do you watch?
Yeah, I even watch. I'm big on Netflix too. I just, I saw Ozark. I noticed Alex Sports. That's a great show. Yeah, definitely watch.
Yeah, that's great.
I loved the last season. I thought it was. I didn't like the storyline with like the crazy brother. I don't want to give it away.
But I like the ending. I was saying I didn't expect that to happen in Ozark.
Yeah, that's a crazy show. I love that show actually. The first episode of Ozark was like the best first episode.
It starts like right away with action. It's like, wait, what? How do we get here? Yeah,
there's so much action, like so much crazy stuff.
Usually, the first episode, it's like you're just learning the people and the characters and stuff. But no, this one starts like boom, you're already thrust into this reality of their characters. It's after you watch the first episode, it's just like, oh, I gotta watch the next one, because it's so. Eventually, it does slow down. It doesn't keep up that pace the whole time, but the pace, like you said from the beginning. It's unreal. You don't really see shows like that start with that kind of pace.
Another good show is Better Call Saul.
Oh yes,
that's an underrated show.
Fifth season right now. I got to watch the 5th season.
Yeah, actually, I haven't finished the last season either, but that's a really good show. I feel like it's underrated how good it is.
It's so underrated. Nobody talks about it, and it's the prequel to Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I think it's just as good almost as Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad has like more crazy stuff going on.
People call me crazy, but I actually enjoy it more than Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I might actually enjoy it more in some ways. Like
I think Saul is such a great character. Like he's so entertaining,
Yeah, and he's a really good actor. That guy. I don't remember.
You have a lot of Mike in there, and I love Mike. I think Mike is so.
Oh, the ex-cop.
Yeah, exactly.
I like his character. He's such like a dark character, but he's like. Yeah, he's cool. I like that guy.
Yeah,
that's a really good show. Better Call Saul. I'm gonna finish by the last season this week.
I want to finish up the last season. So good because my brother told me the last season is the best season so far. Like
it's really good so far.
If you remember, the 4th season was kind of slow. He says no, this one is like all fast paced. And I think you finished the 4th season because I don't want to spoil anything.
Is that the one with the with his older brother? That's like mostly what it's about. Well, I think so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like give anything away, but
older brother. That's the 3rd season, and then the 4th. Yeah, the 4th season. Did anything happen to him or no?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say because if I say what happens to the older brother, I might have already ruined it. But yeah,
I think I know where you are, David. Though.
Okay. Yeah.
I know. I asked you off stream. Oh no, but wait, this is one thing I want to talk about quickly too. So when I was the movie critic, I was going and entertain this channel as the movie critic, and I was talking.
That's cool.
And actually, I still have a moderator on Bad Dogs channel as the movie critic, which I always find so funny. So I used to go there and I used to talk to them, and they used to come on my channel to talk movies, like the Sports Fury.
I just didn't think that they would ever.
Sports Fury came to my channel and talked.
No, I never heard of Sports Fury. I just never thought that Entertainer and Bad Dog would be like.
You know who Philly 500? Do you know who Philly 500 is?
I've heard that name so many times. I think Bad Dog talks about it a lot, but I don't know who that is exactly.
He's a big Eagles fan, but a great guy to talk to. He came on my channel on the Movie Critic, and actually on this channel too. So yeah, we were talking about. actually, we talked about something fun on that channel. We talked about conspiracy theories. We were just talking about like crazy shit that we think is true, but may not be. You know.
That's so funny. Yeah, like so did you just change your channel from like movie critic to sports critic, or you started a whole new channel?
I started a whole new channel from 0 subscribers, but I had some because people from the movie critic, I told them to come here and they did.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was cool. And I'm really happy with how this channel has grown, because in a year I almost got 800 subscribers. I really want to get to 1,000. Yeah. But the reason why
you're really close.
Yeah, I know. And the reason why I want to get to 1,000 though is so I can stream from my phone and my tablet and other stuff too. You get that you can.
Oh, I didn't realize you can do that. I thought I never tried streaming from my phone, but I didn't even realize that you can't.
If you don't have 1,000 subscribers, YouTube won't let you do it from their app. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a big advantage, because like if you're in the car or you're out somewhere and you just want to like, you know, breaking news or something. But that'd be awesome. I think you could get to 1,000 quick. Yeah, especially when like football season runs around.
Sports is like an all-time dead hill right now. That's what's killing. But I think when basketball comes back and football comes back and all sports comes back, then do you watch any hockey, by the way, David, or no?
Nah, I'm not so much into hockey. I'll watch the playoffs, and I'm a Rangers fan.
I'm a Rangers fan too. Okay, we agree on that. Yes.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited for the playoffs though, just because there's no sports going on, and like
the Rangers are getting the playoffs because of you heard about the format, right? It's like 20 teams.
I don't think we would have made the playoffs if it wasn't
normally we wouldn't have. But since the COVID thing happened, they're gonna allow more teams to get in.
I don't even know. Is like Lundqvist still the golie?
Yeah, he's still the goalie of the team.
I feel like it's been the goalie for like 20 years. That's crazy. But I don't even know if he's good anymore. But I just know the Rangers had like a lot of young players. Like they picked 2nd overall last year, but I don't think that rookie they got has like been good in his first year, like Kako or something like that. Or I don't even know what his name is. Yeah, but I don't really know much about hockey. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm trying to get back into it, because it's fun calling a lot of different sports. I got into UFC lately. I've been watching a lot of UFC. I don't know if you watch UFC.
Yeah, my brother is really into UFC, so I watched like the big fights.
That's who got me into it too. My brother has been telling me to watch it. I wasn't watching it before, but
yeah, it's fun. Yeah, so I was thinking I might go like 5 more minutes, because what I do usually is I'll wake up really early.
Yeah.
And that's like my baby's still sleeping, so that's the time I can write an article or like edit a video or something.
I tell anybody who comes on this channel, like, because you're a first-time guest, so like, you know, however long you can go, that's how long the show will be. You know, for me, I usually do around like 2 hours. So this is even more than that. But that's 2 to 3 hours is usually what I do. So we're right.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, because like, I've been watching your streams. I like you know, you just like interact with the chat, and I'll check you out.
I like to read every single chat if I can. So I wanted to talk about this quickly though. So when I did a live stream, I did one where I did breaking news, and it was about Russell Westbrook. He got traded to the Rockets, and I went live instantly when that happened. I had 400 people watching and commenting. It went insane. You know how like YouTube, and so in the total at the end of the stream, I had 5,000 views on that video, on that live stream.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Yeah, because it was like perfect timing, so people type in YouTube. Like,
everybody came in. Everybody was like,
that must have been cool.
Everybody was like, "No way, this ain't true. You're making this up." A lot of people are saying that, but then I'm like, "No, I would never do that. Like, I would try to make sure 100% that it's, you know, verified before doing it."
I'll tell you a crazy story, quick. I was on Periscope during the draft. It was the 3rd round, and it was like right before Matt Pert was going to get drafted. And do you know Barstool Big Cat?
Yeah, Barstool Sports. I know all those.
Yeah. So Big Cat, he does something on Twitter where he goes Periscope hopping.
Oh, okay.
And he'll tell all his followers to go to a random Periscope.
Great.
Not to be like mean, but just to like, you know, everyone watch and just like support whoever this person is. Yeah, so we went into ours. I was on with a couple other guys from G-Man HQ. So we had like, you know, like 5, 6, 10 people, And then all of a sudden, it was 3,000 people watching us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so many people in the chat. It was actually a lot of fun. And Big Cat like DM'd us. He was just like, "Oh, I'm not trying to mess with you guys. I'm just like supporting you, and I wanted to see what your thoughts on the draft and stuff like that." So I didn't even know what to say because like there was so many people watching, and I was supposed to like react to Matthew Pert like getting drafted, and it was crazy.
It's funny. I did a live stream and I did a video about Matthew Pert. Now this is one time where my video exploded. What is with Matthew Pert? When I did a video of Matthew Pert, I had like 600 views at the end of the video. I'm like, what? Everybody wanted to know my reaction. I guess if you do a reaction, but you got to do it. I did it really quick. Like as soon as reaction, my thing, and then it was done. Once I said whatever I felt on Matthew Pert, and I uploaded it, then it got like a lot of traction. So I know you asked me about the live streaming. So how about you? What would you say your percentage to live streaming to video ratio is?
Yeah, I mean, recently I've been doing mostly live streams, probably like 3 to 1. But before that, I was only doing videos. I only started like live streaming myself like in the past week or so. So I think what I want to do is do like half and half.
Yeah, that's always the best thing to do.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let me ask you my advice for you because I'm still not sure. I just want your input. So I'm thinking about if I write an article about something, then I can like also do a video because I've already done the research and stuff.
Yes.
But then I don't know if it's overkill. I don't know. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think you should totally do that. You know, if you wrote something down, it'll be easier for you to make a video on it because you already have your thoughts on it. And maybe you won't stumble so much when you're making the video, and it could be fluid and it'll be easier for you, is my point. Actually a good idea because not everybody on YouTube probably knows about your website, and I don't think it's overkill because you know everybody loves reactions on YouTube. This is something so people some people would love your reaction to the news and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying I could do live stream reactions kind of stuff?
You could do a live stream reaction, or you could do a video reaction to your.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's tough right now. Like not about if I did something about the Giants, I guess like something that happens in the news.
Yeah,
that's a good idea though. I should probably do that. Like,
there's not much going on with the Giants. It's just a lot of people. What they do, like Entertainer and Bad Dog, and what I see and I like. Is they do a lot of speculation videos kind of what they think the Giants will be like. But I always feel one thing that does kind of annoy me is that they're very optimistic about the Giants. And I'm not optimistic or pessimistic. I'm more like realistic. Because I've been optimistic and then it just like, it sucks. You know, nothing works out the way that you think it does. You know.
Yeah, I think I'm actually optimistic too.
There was only one time when they were pessimistic.
It's more fun.
Do you know one time?
No.
Daniel Jones selection. Did you ever see that?
Oh my God! Yeah, I saw that because I wrote an article recently about Daniel Jones. So I kind of forgot what the reaction was. So this was like a month ago. I typed in like Daniel Jones reaction, and the first thing I saw was Bad Dog's face on YouTube, and it was like a video with like 1 million views or something. And Entertainer was on that video too.
They both,
and they were both going nuts. But I was actually the same way. Like I literally had the same reaction as they did because I thought it was.
Funny thing is, a few weeks later they cooled down and they realized this guy could be good because they actually looked at his tape and they realized we were wrong. And a lot of people, I was pissed off too. Not on that level though. They went to a level that I was like, whoa. But there's another YouTuber named Rover Sports. I think you probably heard of him. He's a Giants.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
He was the only guy on YouTube. He was
happy.
That was cool and happy about it. There were Cowboys fans laughing, Eagles fans that were laughing on YouTube. Because the greatest thing is, and you'll realize this, even though you're a Giants YouTuber and you want to support Giants YouTubers, you will come across the Cowboys guys. They will come into your live streams. They will come into your videos, and they'll become part of your fan base. So then you're going to watch their videos, right? And then you see their reaction. So it's always funny. Like Philly.
Yeah, I'm surprised how many like Cowboys fans, like you have Broncos fans watching.
Cowboys and Eagles and Broncos for some reason are like my biggest fan bases right now.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's cool because
Patriots also, and Saints would also be kind of like a fifth.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it's fun to just interact with different fan bases. You hear different perspectives and stuff.
Everywhere. And then you're gonna check out their content, and then you're gonna see their reaction because when Jalen Hurts was picked, Bad Dog had a reaction. It was so funny, his reaction to that.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that actually. Yeah, Bad Dog is so. I think he's hilarious. Like,
he's great. I wanna get him on my channel, but he's so busy.
Yeah, I heard he's because I seen like a lot of people in the chat try to like ask him to go on his channel, but
he used to come to my channel on the Movie Critic, so he knows who I am. He knows my name. He knows everything. He knows he's been to my before, but he's really busy, so I get it. He has a kid. I understand. Once you have a kid and you're married and all that, you can do YouTube, but it gets harder because there's other responsibilities you have to do as well.
Yeah, especially when they're one, because like when they're crawling around the house, it's a lot of energy to like watch them. Yeah. His kid, I think, is 3.
Yeah, your kid. Yeah. So I definitely get that one because they're like, you don't know when they're gonna wake up. You don't know anything, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Thankfully, he actually sleeps pretty good right now. But like when he's awake, it's just so you have to like watch him so closely.
Yeah, you have to be on him. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but yeah, we should do this like on my channel if you're able to.
No,
like,
yeah, whenever. The thing is, I can, and so this is how my schedule is usually free. For the weekends, it could be like earlier, doesn't matter. But for days specifically, because I work during the day, I'm an accountant, so yeah. So during the day, I'm busy with work, so I usually don't go. But if you wanted me to come on the evening or night, and I'm not doing anything, I'll definitely come by your channel. I love going on other people's channel. Like I try to go on everybody's channel. That's the thing, and especially since you're a Giants YouTuber, that's even better because we can talk Giants and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. This is a lot of fun, and I would even go on your channel again if you're.
Of course.
I love doing this kind of stuff.
I love to have repeat guests also. Yeah.
Yeah. So this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But this is around the time I'm probably I want to like start writing because I just started my new website, so I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow and start my article.
You have me on Twitter. You can always reach out. I try to respond to my Twitter all the time because I have my notifications on.
Yeah, same with me. I get it on my phone. So if you ever need a guest or something, or you want someone to join, let me know.
Yeah, man. I love having you on today. It was so much fun, so entertaining. It was this is one of the best streams, one of the most fun I've ever had, to be honest.
I was thinking if it's okay with you, like I'll put this video because it's Giants content. I could put it on my website. I have like a video section.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Put it on your channel if you want. It's whatever you want, All
right, man. That's awesome. Yeah. This has been fun.
Yeah. I appreciate you asking though. That's good. Yeah.
So
what do you got to say before we go? Because I usually like to tell my guests, like, say whatever you got to say before we end the stream. Like, you can plug your channel. You can do whatever,
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, because I just started a new website. It's nygiantsalliance.com. So check it out. I think I'm better at writing articles at this point than on video, but I also put my videos on there. Yeah, I'm new to everything, so I've been getting a little better with the videos, and then just check me out on Twitter. I like interacting with the other Giants fans or other football fans. So everyone in your chat is really cool. So I appreciate you guys coming and like asking questions and just interacting. It's a lot of fun. And this has been a lot of fun, man. I appreciate it.
All right, and I'm just gonna say thank you so much again, David, for coming on. You're always welcome, as long as I have time, when I'm not busy. You're always welcome on this channel. I always like to have repeat guests, especially right now during the coronavirus, because there's not much to talk about sports related, and it's always great to talk with another Giants fan. Maybe learn something new from them, or just see what you agree on, all that kind of stuff. And guys, I can't tell you, you should definitely subscribe to Giants Alliance. David, check out his new website that he told us about. I think the best thing to do is we all got to stick to each other. We all got to support each other, help each other grow, you know? And yeah, that's all I got to say, man. David is great. I had so much fun. I you know, always before a live stream, you're like, you know, is this going to be fun or not? But no, this was even blew my mind. Like, it's been really great.
Yeah, this has been awesome, man. I love doing this stuff. So, yeah. And I like your channel, man. I do watch your channel. I only discovered you until recently, but it's fun to watch your streams.
No,
and John King John, Alex Sports, Jared Williams.
I also found your channel because of Alex Sports. So he told me about your channel because, you know, he said there's a new Giants YouTuber that I've been watching. I said, oh, cool. Let me tell him what's his thing. Because I don't look at subscribers. I look at, like, you know, how when they go live, how they talk and stuff. And, you know, you always are interactive with your chat. You always bring up good points. Like, I'm like just sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. Or I could see it where he comes with that. Even if I don't agree, I could see your viewpoint on it.
Thanks, Alex Sports. That was nice of you.
Yeah. So, like, anytime you're live and I'm not doing anything, I'll always try to stop by, you know, because I always like to support people that, especially that come on my streams. I always appreciate that because I know you're busy. You have things going on. I'm busy. Everybody has things. But it's always good to come on for a few hours and talk football, especially.
Yeah, definitely, man. I could talk football any day. So, yeah, this has been awesome, and I appreciate it, man.
All right, you're welcome. You're always welcome on. Guys, like, I can't stress it enough. Subscribe to him. I want him to grow, get more subscribers. I want me to grow. Also, subscribe to me. And we're out of here. We're actually ending right now. Go as you come in. Yeah.
All right, later, go.
Yeah, later. Go subscribe to David. So subscribe to. No, you already subscribed to me. I'm just joking. But yeah, see you around the bend. See you in the next live stream or video. And yeah, have a good night, everybody. Peace out. It's ending now.
All right, take care.